All right, what is up? Welcome to the Spoiler Kings. My name is Tim Kramer with Brandman Brandon, Brian the Grizzly. What is up? How you guys doing?
Finally, that's all I could think about. I was at work today, just like, man, can you imagine? like, man, this is so good. Oh, I'm thinking about the whole idea. I've got to say, the fact that they didn't show who Aurora is at the end, I have to talk about. I know everyone's talking about the T'Chaka thing, which is a huge thing, but the fact that they didn't show where she is and it's somewhere in the time stream intrigues the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
So, I'm, ooh, boy. I can't even talk. It's so good. And it brings up so many points. That's what a good show does. It intrigues you so much. It brings up so many. It's a conversation starter. That's what we're getting. Conversation starters about the thing I love most, probably more than any other stuff. Comic books.
Mm.
You know? But it's not just coming from the comic book, it's also taking what we have for comic books and enhancing it and give us better stories that are more concise. Because comic books come out once a month, right? And it's hard when it's coming out once a month to have a cohesive story and concise and all this stuff. It's better when you can take all the storylines and shrink it down and give us something that makes sense and feel epic. You know, it's not even episodic. It feels like a movie every single week in 30 minutes, which is unbelievable. So I just want to get that off my chest. Thanks, God, for letting me do that.
Yeah. So obviously we're gonna get into it in a little bit. Let some people start coming in and stuff like that. But yeah, that was an episode. That was an episode. But we're gonna we'll probably like I said, we'll get into Planet of the Apes at first, probably in like 10 minutes or so. Knock that out, and then that allows everyone else to kind of come in, because usually an hour in is when we get our like max viewers, and then hopefully around 45 minutes into an hour in, we'll start talking X-Men. Even then, I kind of want to do the episode and keep the Black Panther thing separate.
Yeah,
because that's gonna be its own thing, because oh my God, man, I was kind of upset because it's like you said, like how great of a job it's doing is from the comic book. So you're gonna get people going to the comic books. You're gonna get these newer, younger people, that are checking this out with their parents, because it's made for us, so you're gonna have like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-olds watching it, and they're like, oh my God, this is awesome, and now that's what they see. It's like they see T'Chaka instead of T'Challa.
It's even worse because they actually changed it. That's what's even worse. Like you go to was it 92191? Was it 921 universe? That's what X-Men is.
They're saying this one's like the 9. It's supposed to be for like whatever date it came out, but there's a universe that already exists. That universe already exists, and T'Challa is king in that universe.
Exactly. So we've already had him in there. Like he's already, and they had him as a character in that universe already.
Shows. Yeah.
So like if you go to Marvel.com and they talk about the universe, the X-Men universe, it's literally he's already the one there.
Yeah.
And then they decided to pull it back. So that's a conscious effort that they were doing. I wonder why. But yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah, we will.
I'm gonna pull up the number 92131.
Okay, it's 92131. I didn't know if it's 212.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be 92 or October 31st, 1992 was the first episode. So they're kind of like tweaked the numbers a little bit to kind of match. But yeah, just annoying.
It's like, but you can look up the universe 92131 Marvel universe. They have T'Challa, and they started changing it. That blew my mind that they started changing it
annoying
for the Black Panther to be T'Chaka, but at the top of it still says T'Challa.
Yeah, King of Wakanda, T'Challa. Like that's literally what it says. So yeah, that's gonna be a separate thing, because we're gonna get way into that. But But what's up, Drew?
Hey, Drew.
Yeah, check out Drew's review, of the episode of the X-Men episode. He's in full Wolverine kind of costume. It's awesome.
I'm gonna have to watch that. I haven't made
Oh yeah, you got to. It's like he's in the mask. Like and that's an awesome mask too, man. I got to admit, like that is a pretty cool mask with the white eyes and everything. Mama Bear, of course. What's up, Mama Bear?
All right, now we can start, guys. I
Yeah.
was holding on till then. Now we are okay because now Mama Bear said something. I know she's doing gargoyles right now. I actually like the episode that she's on right now. But I'm focused on X-Men, but then I might wander off a little bit.
And do that. What was I gonna say? The freaking box office. That's what I was gonna talk about real quick.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get into some of the Kingdom Planet of the Apes review, but the box office for it is it's really good. It's like really, really good. I believe it's the second highest opening for the Planet of the Apes franchise. Yeah. So right as of right now, on this as of May 15th, so Wednesday, the worldwide total was 144.9.
Mm-hmm.
So almost 145, which is pretty crazy. In 6 days, in a week.
It's 72 for both, like both internationally and domestically, which is crazy.
Yeah. It's crazy how much money it was bringing in, and I thought it was gonna do well. I didn't know it was gonna do that well because holy shit, like that's impressive.
I don't see it continuing though.
I don't know, man. A lot of people
I'm
like
not
this one.
sure.
I know the critics love it for one, and a lot of people are walking out of theaters. Oh, that was so good. And I was like, yeah, just I'm not going to write home about it. I'm not going to down it. Just
yeah. So, what we got with Derpy? I haven't seen it yet. Okay. So we'll do a review for it. It's gonna be a quick review, honestly, and then we're gonna get into the good stuff, X-Men. But I think you might like it, Derpy. I think you might like it.
Where do you think it stops? How much money do you think this movie makes?
That's a good question.
Yeah, that's a really good one. Because how much is it made now?
145, and it's only been out for 6 days. I can see a big drop this weekend. Because I think If is gonna take a lot of it because a lot of kids are gonna go see it, even though it's not doing good with the critics.
Don't call it If. Call it Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
It is. Oh my god! I thought I was the only one that thought that. I was like, wow. Okay.
It's like you could have changed the color of the main like big monster, friend. It was like you give him the same color too. So, but I don't know. I think it stops somewhere in the 500 range.
Oh, really? So, all right. So, just so you know, understand, this is what we got.
Yeah. I'm
we
right
got
there with
Dune is at 700 million. Okay, Dune. Godzilla X Kong is at 559 million.
Yeah.
Kung Fu Panda's at 529 million. And then Nothing into Ghostbusters at almost 198 million. You're telling me you think this movie is going to make as much as Kung Fu Panda?
It could.
So,
yeah,
because the audience is liking it and the critics are liking it, and I can see it doing well like internationally.
Yeah.
I think the international numbers are what I say stops at 440.
440.
Exactly.
Overall, it's a pretty well received franchise that's been going strong for quite some time. So
that's 100% true.
Yeah.
What's the last Planet of the Apes movie?
The last one was War
for the Planet
7 years ago. Yeah. That was 7 years ago.
How much did that make?
I don't think it made that much.
Yeah.
I think it was just under 500 million. I think it was just under that pre-pandemic, and of course, it made more money internationally than it did domestically.
Yeah.
I'm thinking this movie is going to be a little bit lower than that. Very close though. Like I'm gonna say 450.
Yeah. I can see it being over the last one though. Just because I think it re-hyped up the, like, it's been gone long enough for people kind of miss it, and then it's coming back, and it came back with like a good comeback. It's not like, here's Caesar again, so
I just don't believe I just don't believe that pre-pandemic numbers we're there yet. I don't believe we gotten there yet. The numbers are not the same. It's like I think Dune 2, if it would came out in 2017, would have made 1.5 billion. It's gonna make half that, I got my steel book over there already. That's what I'm saying. I don't believe that we've made it there yet, but whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I can see it 400 to 500, somewhere in that range. I don't know. I don't see it going over 500 for sure. I don't.
Can't. I'm looking at the numbers of the other movies that are there. I just can't see it catching those.
Yeah.
Big Trav, I see you.
Travis, what's up, Travis Mitchell? Thank you for it's just a donation, man.
Wow, not super chat.
No super sticker or anything.
Oh, just to be awesome. That's all it is. Just being awesome.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Let me see what we got for you. There's some new ones I need to get going. Here you go. I've been in a Macho Man. Like I watch his biopic and stuff like that. So we gotta play this one. Yeah. Yeah, Travis, thank you so much, man.
Yeah, thanks, man.
You're awesome, man.
Greetings. Appreciate it.
Let's hurry and knock this Planet Apes thing out the way. So
yeah,
I'm looking at my Funko Pop. I have a Gambit and Cyclops over here that couldn't fit on the wall. I'm like, man, I need to talk about these.
Oh, I called it. We're gonna get into it, but I called it. I called it like 2 weeks ago. I called it with Gambit.
No, not just with Gambit, but Archangel. We talked about that. And that's another thing that couldn't be happening with Storm, because Storm was also a one of the horsemen. She also,
who wasn't almost?
Yeah,
Magneto was.
Like 9 of them, like So I mean, that's another option, a way they could go. But the thing with them allowing Storm to become an Avenger in the comic books now is huge. And what does that do to the franchise? What is it going to do? I cannot wait till August to see it. But her joining T'Challa, Miss Marvel, how does that change things? So but let's talk about Planet of the Apes. I don't know how I got back to X-Men. That's my fault.
We're Planet of the Apes. His muscles are unnatural in that movie, built like a Bobo in Double Dragon movie.
Double Dragon.
Yeah, the 94 Double Dragon movie with like the from Party of Five.
Oh, that's
Alyssa Milano.
I remember Alyssa Milano.
Who doesn't remember Alyssa Milano?
Exactly. Oh man, I remember watching that movie so much, and I'm like, it's so bad, too. But I like it.
very, very, very much a good bad movie.
Yeah. All right, let's talk. Let's see. I downloaded this. See if it works. Yeah.
It works.
Yeah. All right. Let's get this one. It should be a quick one. You got synopsis up?
I will in a second.
All right.
I'm still looking at X-Men.
While he does that real quick, I know we got some people watching. I'm gonna bring it up a few times. We're gonna get some merch coming out. I don't know why, but I decided I wanted to do some artwork, and I made some artwork. I showed these guys. So it's gonna be like X-Men 97 based kind of merch. We'll do some t-shirts and stuff like that. I'm pretty psyched about both of them. I thought they looked great, but I'm biased because I made it. So I know Brandon was. He's like, oh, I really like the Gambit one, so that they got me happy.
I like that one.
Yeah. Yeah, so that should be coming out. Probably I'm gonna work on it this weekend, and probably Monday we'll announce it and do some stuff like that. And I actually have an idea for something for Planet of the Apes too. So I think it'll be kind of fun to see how it does, but see how it goes. But cool. Y'all ready?
Yep, wherever you're ready.
What's up, T?
Hey
What's
T,
going
so
on?
yeah, we're going
Making
to run through this Planet of the Apes thing, and then we get to the X-Men. So just
Yeah, yep.
stay
All right.
with us.
Yep. Let's do it. All right, what is up? Welcome to the Spoiler Kings. My name is Tim Kramer. I'm with Brandman. Start that over again. I am with Brandman Brandon, Brian DeGrizzly, and we are going to talk about and review the new Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes movie. I don't even know what number this is in the total franchise. It's the fourth in the new rebooted prequel stuff. So, but overall, I think it's like number 7, if not more. I think there was 3 from the 70s or 60s to 70s, then the 3 with Caesar, and then
Planet of the Apes, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and then now War for the Planet of the Apes, and then this one, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah. I think there were like 4, maybe 5 in the original run.
The original run.
And this is another 5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Tim Burton one doesn't count.
Thank you. That doesn't count. With Marky Mark?
Yeah, with Marky Mark.
That don't count.
Yeah.
That don't count
at all.
No. But I did hear the studio, and the guy, like the head of this, said they have plans for 9. And I'm like, 9 plus this, or 9 plus this and the last 3? Because that's a lot of movies, man.
What's the next title going to be?
Survival of the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Civil War of the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah. They should call it like of the franchise at this point. But cool. Yeah, so we're gonna talk about Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. We're gonna get to our ratings at the end, get into our likes and our dislikes. But before we do, Brian, you got to run down what this one's about.
All right. Many years after the reign of Caesar, a young ape goes on a journey that will lead him to question everything he's been taught about the past and make choices that will define the future of apes and humans alike. Pretty general. That's basically what happened.
Yeah. Yeah. So real quick, saw what Travis said. My friend who doesn't use the internet didn't even know this movie was coming out, saw Proximus Caesar and said it looked like Kevin Durant, which is scary.
How about that?
That is scary. Oh, that is funny. They did a lot of motion capture for it, but they didn't do a lot of marketing, which I'm kind of surprised though. Not as much as I expected. So, with that being said, Brandman, what you like about this one?
I really like the world building element of it. I think that's always been important to me when it comes to Planet of the Apes. I liked that they kind of explored what happened after Caesar's time, because I think I read that this took place like 300 years after War for the Planet of the Apes, which I thought was a pretty cool angle to work. How the apes have evolved now, how pretty much all of them are speaking and have like kind of like an equivalent intellect to Caesar's. I really liked that. I liked how it did kind of plant the groundwork or lay the groundwork for more and just kind of go into the power struggle between apes and humans. I think that'll be explored in the inevitable sequels. It's making enough money at this point. The CGI, this you come to expect this because we've seen it in this new run. The CGI motion capture is incredible. It's so good. I thought it was pretty competently directed. I know the guy who directed it, Wes Ball, did the Maze Runner trilogy. I actually, when I heard that he was directing this, I kind of thought that a lot of it kind of aligned with what I had seen from the Maze Runner movies. I thought he was a pretty good fit. the acting was pretty good. Like all the actors playing the apes really just kind of like Andy Serkis did as Caesar. Really,
Mhm.
you know, these were worthy successors in terms of the acting, I thought. But yeah, the world building, the CG, and the acting, I think, were really the standout aspects for me.
Okay.
Okay.
What are you, Brian? What you like about
Um,
it?
I think the scenery was so beautiful. I mean, a lot of the stuff that they did
Mm,
I mean, I think understanding where you are and going through the history, and I thought that was really, really cool. And they're following like almost ancient Greek type of things, like following like the kingships and how we be a monarchy and then have a tyrannical leader and then how things go and uh it's very almost European while I'm watching it. I'm thinking about European history a lot of stuff and
Mhm.
Roman Empire.
exactly with Caesar, but yeah, I mean
Well, yeah.
Mhm.
Well, that's what he likes to study, so it was funny. You know.
I
So,
thought that was cool and even Bonobo when he teaches himself how to read to how to even interact with everyone. um
mm,
it's still it's not even just ape in versus humans. It's even within apes, they're growing. They're gonna have three different sides. More, they're adapting. They're becoming more human-like. So now they're gonna have people that have their own will and want to go towards that.
yeah.
Um, so I think that was cool. Um, I have a problem with Planet of the Apes as in itself. The
The
idea of it,
idea.
this period, I have a whole problem of it. So it's hard for me to separate myself from that with the movie. But I will say it's beautiful. I think it was well written, well acted. I gotta say
Mm,
Kevin Durant did a great job. But yeah, it's hard for me to separate myself when I'm watching it still.
mm,
Mhm.
So
yeah.
my enjoyment is tempered by that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of the same. Was never a big fan of the Planet of the Apes. Um, yeah, I mean, it was kind of it was very sci-fi. Like I remember the originals things, and that I think always put me off, even when like it did the reboot. It's like okay,
Mhm.
it's cool. I never got into it as much as other people did. But with that being said, like this prequel stuff is doing pretty good, and especially this one because it's 300 years later, so
So
they're
separating
smarter.
yourself from Caesar. Yeah.
Yeah, you get away from Caesar because I was worried that they were just gonna do Caesar's son, like oh
Mhm.
Mhm.
now on to the next one, kind of
And
thing,
they
and
could have,
they could have
that.
easily could have.
Mhm.
I'm glad they didn't though. I'm super
'Cause you
glad
can bring a whole
they
new story. You talking about how you gonna do
yeah
9 movies if you don't
yeah
separate yourself from, you
from
know
that. But also, I liked it in the fact of that it took Caesar and like deified him. It's
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
he's not just this person or not person, ape that other ones knew. Now he's almost like a legend. And what kind of Caesar are you want to be like? Raka, the orangutan was very like, oh, he wanted peace and he loved humans and this and that. Meanwhile, Praximus is like, oh no, apes together strong. We're gonna kill everybody. It's like and it's so like, interesting because it's only 300 years later, and they just take like these views and then they start to make their own assumptions on it. You know what I mean? And it happens all throughout history. Which is super interesting to see that even with apes. We're getting the
Mm.
same thing, so it was really cool seeing something like that, and you're able to get stuff like that because you're so far ahead in the future. So because Caesar still was a big influence, I guess, in this movie, and yet he was shown for what, a minute in the beginning when they
Mm.
buried him. And that's not a spoiler. That was the last one. That was like the
Yeah.
war of the planet. So definitely not a spoiler. So if you
We
didn't see
also
that
said
movie,
300 years
yeah,
was Caesar,
yeah,
so
300 years.
Yeah.
if you think he's still
Yeah,
alive,
yeah, yeah. But some of the coolest things for me, everything you guys said I agree with, but the guys who did the CGI like motion capture, they had to do like monkey school or ape school. I forgot what it was called. So like they learned how to like swing and walk around. Some of them had these like the long extensions, so it looks like they could walk on their arms. Except for Peter McCoon, I think he plays Raka, right?
Mm.
He's a orangutan. Orangutans don't move like that. So he's like, while everyone else is jumping around and climbing up shit, he's sitting down there like, cool, you know. So, but he said it worked for his benefit because orangutans are very like secluded. You know, they do their own thing and stuff like that. So, and I think it fit because he was one of my favorite characters in this whole movie. You know, Raka the orangutan was super cool. You know, like I enjoyed him more than I think everyone else. You know, so but yeah, it acted well, it looked great, sounded great, all the stuff you guys said. So what about dislikes? What didn't you like about it?
They didn't do enough with the villain Proxima Caesar.
Yeah.
I thought he showed up too late. I thought there was a lot more potential with him because you know the character he was basically like a Caesar fanatic. He was a wannabe. He was an incel basically. I thought there was more that could have been done with that. I thought there, I would have liked to have seen him. Well, even if they didn't introduce him earlier, I just thought there was more that they could have done with him. And Kevin Durand was like solid enough to, I thought he did a great job. He deserved more. The character of May, the human character, I borderline couldn't stand her. She just irrationally grated on my nerves.
But you said that going in, you were already kind of ready for that.
I had a feeling she was gonna like kind of tick me off. Thankfully, she didn't tick me off as badly as I thought she would. But at the same time, the girl was kind of annoying.
I mean, you remember where she's from?
Yeah,
The Witcher.
The Witcher. Yeah. Yeah. I think it kind of didn't really have too much of a sense of direction in parts of the movie, I thought. It especially
not
during
Kevin Durant. Kevin Durand.
Kevin Durand. Durand. IMDb is your friend.
Yeah, I know Kyle's best.
Oh, Kyle's the best one.
But yeah, they I guess it didn't go as far with certain ideas as it could have. And then I kind of think like the third act felt like it was kind of rushing. It was just kind of going through the motions, I thought. And it felt like they were just hurrying up to get to the end. So there was potential great concept that turned out to be fine rather than great in the movie.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Okay. What are you, Brian?
Once again, so I have a hard time separating myself from Planet of the Apes. Though I don't like the fact that all the bad apes are also dark. And all the good apes have like lighter skin. Dude, it's crazy. Like I'm looking at them like, am I just seeing this shit? Just like like that in itself is just what the hell. All right, and the idea of apes is in itself is hard for me to even separate myself from that. Like I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, this movie ain't that bad, but what the fuck? That's what I keep on looking at in itself. I felt like the movie was more of an introduction without not really a direction. And you said not direction. You said world building. Yeah, those are all key words when it's not really necessary that you have to have a beginning, middle, and end. This is just like opening the book, or opening a Pandora's box and seeing this is where we're going to go from now on. I didn't really feel like there was not it wasn't like aimless. It was just didn't have the point of the movie. The point of the movie was to begin this world, to get you 300 years here, and now we're going to take it and we're going to go, and take the story somewhere else.
Mhm.
I actually agree with Brandon too. The human character, she was annoying as hell to me. I was like,
Really?
I don't know what you
Okay.
call her, May or Nova, whatever. I was like, yeah, what the hell? You guys are stupid. Kill her. It's just like, that should oh, she's doing it. Death. All right, in the movie. But it's just the way I thought about it. But
Mhm.
I there's a lot of parts that I liked in the movie and it kept me interested. That's what one thing I will say. It kept me interested. But I agree the third act kind of fell flat on his face because it was trying to do too much at the same time.
Mhm.
Trying to wrap up too much when you really weren't going towards the direction you needed to go to. But overall, it was okay. So go
Yeah.
ahead.
I didn't notice that part of like, or you said like the darker apes. I did notice a lot of segregation though. Like, because you had like these certain kind of apes over here, you had the gorillas over here, the orangutans are doing their own thing, you know what I mean? So it was like, I'm like, oh, okay, like it's interesting, you know. But yeah, I was just like, that was just kind of like what I was thinking, but I didn't think about that.
Just watch it again and just look. You're
Yeah.
like, yeah, he's bad. Dark skin. I was like, what is going on?
Well, they always make the big gorilla is usually always like the bad guy, you know,
Or
like
no,
'cause
the big
he's
gorilla is
so
always the
big and
follower.
broody.
He's the
Yeah,
follower.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
like
He's
mean,
the
that's
all
muscle.
yeah,
yeah.
the muscle. That's the Looney Tunes thing, with the small dog, big dog kind of thing, So, um, but but yeah, I mean, I didn't mind May. My biggest issue with this whole movie was the entire time I'm asking so many questions. I was like, "Wait, what's up with the Falcons? Why are they doing that? Wait, what's this?" And it's like I get it. Evolution. They're training Falcons. Cool. Why? They're just training Falcons. Okay, you got the Falcon Master. Okay, cool. Whatever. It's like it's just besides the fact that it looks cool with a monkey on a horse. That calls a
Falcon.
Falcon. Like, okay, that's cool. I can't deny that. But also it's like they didn't really like explain it too much. You kind of like have to assume like your own kind of things for it. Fine, whatever. But then like, who's May? Where did she come from? And then even at the end of the movie, you're still kind of like, how? Like where? And then they just open it up and it's more questions. And the whole time I'm like, where did Proximus come from? What I mean?
Mhm.
How did he get a following? What I mean? It was like where did he first learn about Caesar? Because like Rocco knew about Caesar, but he knew about a different Caesar. But then Proximus, also knows about Caesar, but he knows a whole different kind of like the warriors version. But yet Noah had no idea who the hell Caesar was.
Yeah.
So it was like,
Yeah.
like it's just it was a little too much. Like if I felt like the show Lost, I was asking like, wait, why is that happening? Why is that happening? Why is that happening? And by the end of the film, I don't think I got that many answers, but I know they're doing it on purpose because we're getting at least two more with Noah being the main character. And also Noah as the main character was kind of boring. He was kind of boring. Like,
Yeah.
like I get it, like he had to become his own, get out of his father's shadow kind of thing, and he wasn't never really accepted by his father, blah blah blah. They did the story beats of a son trying to prove himself and stuff like that. It's just Noah was kind of like I didn't really care too much. Um, you know, Proximus was really cool, but where did
Used them
Gervaison came
very
from?
You
Like
used Proximus very like small, like not it's almost like a small role for a
it's super
big part
small.
of a movie.
Yeah. Yeah. And he was a cool character. I'm like, how? I want to know how he became this thing. I even like the whole idea of like he's learning about Roman Empire and stuff like that because of Trevathan, which William H. Macy, I did not expect him to pop up in this movie. I was like,
Same.
what? It's like, but yeah, that's my only thing is by the end, I'm like asking a lot of questions, and I don't mind having an open-ended movie to open up to the next one, but I don't feel like I got a lot of answers in this one. So I felt a little like unsatisfied by the end of the movie. I'm like, it looked cool, it looked really cool, but I still have a lot of questions, even more questions by the end of the movie. I'm like, what? Like, and I mean, and that's stuff you get when you skip 300 years, so,
Mhm.
the good and bad of that. But yeah, anything else? Any good, any bad that you might have forgot about?
That's about it on my end.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it just reminded me of like, remember when The Force Awakens started?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, they had no. So at least The Force Awakens had characters that we knew about, but like it's just the opening of a story, and they're putting these new characters out. They're putting the pieces out there, and now they want to play chess.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what the movie was. It's about them just wanting now to play chess. They're putting these are all these characters. Here's one. Here's the bad side. Here's the good side. We're gonna put them against each other.
Mhm.
And next movie.
Yeah, I exactly see that. Cool. So we'll get into the comments after our ratings, and then see what you guys are saying about the movie. Let me bring this up. Cool. So here at Spoiler Kings, we do our ratings nice and easy. Now, later, never. Now means you got to go run to the theater to check it out now. Later means you can wait till it's streaming at home, and never means just skip it altogether. Brandman, what you giving this one?
I was actually thinking about this for a while before we even jumped on, and it was kind of a tough
Yeah.
call to make.
Yeah.
I can give this a somewhat on the fence now. And I'll explain why. We're at the beginning of summer season. This is following up the Fall Guy, which I really enjoyed. I think getting up and going to the movies is something I kind of find synonymous with summer season. It's good like early summer season fare from like a spectacle standpoint. It's got enough to really kind of hold your attention, especially if you're a Planet of the Apes fan, or if you even like the last handful of movies. I'd say it's a must to see in the theater. From a visual standpoint, it's really really nice to look at, and it's definitely not a bad movie. I think it's a worthy successor to the previous three. I don't put it anywhere near the level of the last three, especially not Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, which is a movie I loved a bit. But it's a worthy successor, and it's a good enough time. So I can give it a now.
Okay. What about you, Brian?
I'm torn because
Yeah.
I feel like this is a movie that you want to see in the theater, but I don't feel like you need to run up and go see it right now. Like, I think it's something that it's made for a movie for theaters. It's looks pretty awesome. The world building, the way they did it makes sense. It's something you probably want to see on a big screen. But I don't think you have to jump out and go see it. So I'm gonna still give it a later.
Mhm.
I think
Yeah.
that they left me wanting in a lot of places. They, as I said, they put characters out there, but they haven't explored those characters. You know, I I have a problem with May for other reasons that I think it's going to come up later.
Mhm.
But they didn't explore enough stuff for me to be angry or not angry. It's just like it's the beginning. So when it's not something that's going to end, there's no definite direction where they're going to go. I don't feel like it's something you have to run out and go see. So that's why I'm going to give it a later.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm gonna give it a later too. It was a fun time, but I think at home for me is the spot to watch it. Put it on the 4K, get it in high def, blast the surround sound. It'll be a nice like Friday night kind of film at home, because then for me too, it's like I feel like watching some of the deleted scenes, some of the extras, commentary that might help explain some of the things behind it. Behind the scenes stuff. I'm really interested to see a lot behind the scenes for a film like this. So I, just for that, I think later is going to be, for it, and the same thing with everything Brandman said. It was a good sequel to the last trilogy and setting things up, but it just wasn't as good, so yeah, I think a later for me, so then before we go off for the night, it is the second highest opening weekend for a Planet of the Apes film, as of right now from recording the review. It has made $145 million worldwide, which is not bad. In 6 days, it has made a decent amount of money. And then on Rotten Tomatoes, you got a 81 from the critics, 79 from the audience, so it's not too bad. And I believe on Letterboxd it's at 3.5, which is
that's about where it is. It's about 3.3, 3.5. That's what it is.
I think that, is it 3.5 on Letterboxd? So
yeah,
out of 221 people. So, and I think I gave it a 3.5 too on there. So, seems, it was fun, slightly above average, but not, nothing write home about. But cool. Yeah, that's our thoughts for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. It's the fourth in this prequel saga that we're doing. But yeah, we want to hear from you guys. We want to leave a comment down below. Let us know what you thought about the Kingdom movie. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What you feel about it? And also hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and come and join us every Monday and Thursday. Talk movies, TV, comics, all that fun stuff. So make sure you come and join us live. And if you are in the live chat right now, stick around because we're going to get into all the comments for this movie. Cool. I saw a bunch of people coming in. Trey Mac, what's up, Trey?
Trey Mac, what's up?
What we got? I know we got
Katie from
Popping the Popcorn. What is up? Yep. What's up, Kate?
Of course.
Who else we got? Yeah, Jason coming in.
Yeah.
What's up, Jason? Masked Man, what's up? I want to say I'm pretty sure I saw you in chat before. Just because that avatar the profile pic looks familiar. But what is up? Welcome to the channel, man. But cool. Yeah, we're gonna run through these comments.
Hey B, you made it. All right, I'm happy you made it.
Get ready for X-Men, because there we go. Now we were like, oh, you're taking a nap. What's up? But cool. Let's see what you guys are saying about this one real quick, and then we'll jump into the X-Men because I cannot wait to talk about that. Start wearing. I saw this one. This one cracked me up. If they start wearing black Air Force, I'm canceling them. Stop.
We didn't do it. The movie did it.
Yeah.
Don't blame us.
Get that out of there.
Oh man.
It's that third act of the movie taking a hit. Everyone's saying same. Yeah. It's very different. It goes from like kind of a nothing's happening little adventure to like, oh shit, like, so the Falcons got them food and kept them safe. Yeah.
So, and then they were fishing with him, like it's something. They were sending them out there and they're grabbing fish and then bringing them back.
Yeah, I just thought it was like, I don't know, it was kind of interesting. But again, they don't know that the apes before them were, like pets in zoos and behind bars. They found out in this one, but yeah, they showed them fishing and stuff like that. So it was just like at first I was like, it didn't put me off. I was just like, damn, like a lot of Falcons, But again, it looked cool. It looked super cool. My God, Kyle.
Everyone was a Vic. Never mind. Nah,
yeah, I know. Right?
We'll go there.
When did the humans start talking? See, that's a question. You know, it's like, did the virus didn't affect all of them? Or did they start going underground? You know, are the underground humans going to turn into the humans that worship the fucking nuclear warhead in the ones from like the 70s or whatever? You know, the underground people. Like, there's so much going on. I was like, I don't like it's a lot, you know. So I'm just waiting till we get to the time travel shit because that's when shit gets really off the walls.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you think they're going to go in the next movie?
The season or the movie?
The movie.
Yeah. I really don't know. I feel they're gonna have to start to unite. They're gonna have to unite them, right? Because in the 1960s, the original movie, they're all like one like tribe, right?
Yep.
You know, so eventually they're gonna have to start getting together. You know, and that's why I thought Proximus was gonna win at the end of the day. You know, I'm like, oh, he's gonna win and get all the stuff, but I don't know. I don't know. It's a weird one. I'm not sure what they're gonna do with it. But, how do they know how to use a computer? I mean, that's the thing too. Is like I'm assuming they live down there, right? Like it's like a section, like a small group of humans that just stayed down there and
that never got interacted with the virus, and they were okay, I guess.
Kept learning and teaching and you know, stuff like that. I assume. Should have learned about the tribal chief and not the Roman. Little WWE in there. T said I was not a fan of May at all. All right, that's another one for you for not liking her. Jason said solid movie for me. Really enjoyed it. 4 movies that are very well executed.
I respect that.
Yeah, I didn't hate this one. You know, I think how my enjoyment of this one is going to depend on what the next one is.
What do you do? What do you do with this? Does this start a story that's going to be great, epic, or is it just something like
this fizzle out and turn into a dud?
Exactly.
Yeah. Big Four Entertainment said I give it a later. Okay, so he's right there. What we got there? Everyone's saying hi to each other.
Because we got Kenny in the building.
It says, for the crew, keep it real. That movie, man, it's okay.
Yeah. It's fine.
Yeah. Like I said, I didn't hate it, but
I wasn't mad.
Yeah. No. I walked out kind of. Cool. That was a fun time.
The movie you walk out, you're like, "What? I wasted my time." Man, this wasn't that. It was just like, the movie's over.
I walked out. I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna go up in the tree and steal a falcon egg.
But only you gotta leave one.
Yeah, leave one. Which I did like that part because you know, conservation is so I was like, okay. And it makes sense. It's like if you take all the eggs, then there's not gonna be any more eagles. So, yeah. I did like that part. Judging how people feel, the next one will do less numbers. Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier. How it's gonna do. I mean, of course, we got Dre Mac. We're about to get into that X-Men stuff. I know Dre Mac got some feelings about the X-Men stuff, man. Y'all like the new Don Glover new song and video? It was all right. It was catchy.
I've not seen it or listened to it yet.
I've listened to it. I haven't seen the video yet.
I thought the song was better than the video. The video like starts off like 30 seconds before the music actually starts, you know, and then he does something in the middle. His videos are always crazy. The video is cool. It's just him like kind of dancing and gets crazy.
He's artistic though, so that's just him.
Yeah. But the song is catchy. I like it. I caught myself singing it a couple days. I haven't heard it yet. It was like Littlefoot, Bigfoot, or
is it Bigfoot, Littlefoot?
Littlefoot, something like that. The movie sounds like it should be a TV series. It might do better as a TV series, honestly. Mm-hmm. I think it might.
Is it just because there's so many things they're trying to do?
Yeah. Well, you're able to flesh out
storylines
and stuff like that. Yeah.
You know who the characters actually are. A good show can take every single character and give them something to do.
Yeah, exactly. And then Mama Bear said, "Nice tank top." I think you got the X-Men one on, right?
Me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Nee, nee,
yeah.
nee, nee, nee.
nice. That's awesome. Surprised you don't have your coffee cup with you, man.
Wait.
Nice. Okay. I think this actually will be Noah's villain arc. Ooh, that would be interesting. How he maybe turns into like Proximus and kind of becomes like
I don't think
like
Proximus is dead, man.
I don't think so either. I don't think so either. The one with Kanye, or is there another one?
He's talking about the music video.
Is he? Kanye's not in the music video, is he?
I don't remember. Well, I didn't see the
Oh, you
video,
didn't see it?
so
I'm trying to remember. I mean, I kind of watched it, but I had my earbuds in. I was doing other shit at work, but I never I don't think I sat down and watched it all together. Because I'm sitting there watching. I'm like, oh, when's the music gonna start? And then I started like forwarding. I was like, oh, okay. Kenny Sparks, what's up, Kenny? I enjoyed the movie. However, I felt like the third act focused too much on the setup for the future instead of making the current circumstances more interesting. Exactly.
man, it's like he just listened to what we said. Said
Yeah.
the same thing.
Exactly. Proximus had a lot of potential to be a great villain, but he was taken off the board too much. Yeah. That's why I don't think I agree with Ryan. He's not dead. He's coming back. Yeah. I can see him coming back, and I can see maybe Noah eventually siding with him. You know what I mean? The humans are so much, crappy, where he's like, oh shit, we have to team up because strong together. So
Because humans are horrible, as we will talk about in the next thing.
yeah. So you mean they're down there for 300 years and never try to fight back? In the original, I forgot what number it is. I think it's the third one. You find out about these like underground humans that worship like a nuclear warhead or some shit like that.
Mhm.
I don't want to spoil what happens in a movie, but it's also like 50 years old.
No, 50 years old.
Yeah,
It's
50
like,
years old. Yeah. It's weird. It's weird. They have stupid outfits on and shit.
I want a Proximus' right shirt. Yeah, that's what I want.
I know, bro. I was thinking about that. I was thinking about that too. Get a Magneto was right. Proximus was right.
We're stronger together.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take that what you guys doing playing the apes, and we're stronger together, guys.
The humans will screw over and unite the apes because their first true emperor that everyone rallies behind to suppress the humans. Yep. See. I like Noah a lot though. I didn't care for. I didn't hate him, but it was just like, oh, well, whatever.
He just wasn't that appealing of a character
Interesting.
like Caesar.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah,
it-
Caesar was great.
Mhm.
Yeah. You go
For the
from Caesar
storyline.
to that.
Yeah. The story made so much sense with Caesar. Like you understood exactly why he was doing what he was, and his feelings, his mixed feelings, all that was apparent.
Yeah.
Noah's like, I guess, you know.
Yeah. Man waited until the night before to get his egg.
No.
Seriously. He got X-Men tank today. He ready to talk. Oh yeah.
Dude. I'm just trying to get through this right now. That's
yeah, I know. That's why I'm kind of like going around.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna run to the bathroom.
Wow. He's taking the bathroom break on the rest of the
Yeah,
shit.
he's gonna get
I
ready.
love it. He's ready. I love it.
He's gonna get ready.
That's exactly what I would be on, man.
To be fair, I ain't messing with any apes without an army behind me. Oh yeah. I feel Proximus was right. Yeah. Definitely got to get Magneto was right. Proximus was right. Do a reversible one. Flip the shirt inside out.
I
Ultra
want a Magneto Lives t-shirt.
Lives. That was awesome. X-Men 97 season finale was like a beautiful woman dancing with you almost all night, and then for 30 seconds you turn around and you're with a boof, and then they're like so fine woman. You like rub your eyes like what? Oh, no, we're good.
That's good.
That's funny. Oh man. person could do that. Yeah.
Yep.
If the series leads into the original films, how could you imagine it being done, ending where the original starts or remaking the original? I think it's going to end. I don't know if this trilogy is going to end where that's going to start, but I think it is leading to that.
I was going to say that I think it's going to actually do something totally different. We're going to think it's going towards the originals, and it's going to choose to do something different.
They could, but I mean, they already kind of set it up because I believe in was it Rise? You see a headline where astronauts were like sent into space. And everyone was like, "Oh, that's them." He comes back into the future, thousands of years later, and it's all monkeys. So, I don't know, but it depends. It depends. Even with the army, I'd be hesitant. They could fold me like laundry. Yep. Notice wanted to hang with his girl and boy, who's for sure betray him in the next movie.
Oh, yeah. 100%. I like it, T.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's going on.
That'll be interesting. Yeah, they're a little bit older. Maybe now he's a little angry. He's like, "Oh, you took the girl I loved." Like, what? You never even thought. I would say as long as Tank isn't right, we're fine. With what? It's in Beneath of the Planet of the Apes. They're called the Alpha Omega. Yeah, what is the symbol on the bomb? The same group from War of the Planet of the Apes. Yeah, is it the same group from War?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's why like it was getting so trippy, at that point, because then they send apes back in time to human time, and bro. Yeah, that's why I'm like, wait till time travel starts coming into these movies, and then people are gonna be like, what? I'm going to head out, actually watch these last 2 episodes of X-Men. Cool T, enjoy.
Hey,
they are awesome.
I wish I could change places with you to watch it again to enjoy it. I've only seen it now. Honestly, I've only seen episode 10 4 times, but 9 I probably watched. I watched 8, 9, 10 3 times in a row now.
Yeah. So enjoy, because they are a great time, man. And we're about to talk about them in a few. So, I feel an intense hate session for X-Men 97. Hell no, bro. What?
I got problems with some things, but it's not X-Men. It's gonna be upset with,
Yeah. It says, no, don't get Twitter. X-Men 97 was super dope. Yeah. And I think for the most part, we have the same issue that Dramac had, that Chill had, and Darius from Planet Fanax has. But all of them, all you guys are all just like, it's an amazing show, and we got one problem. But still haven't watched it. Go watch it, man. Go watch it.
Go watch it. What are you doing?
Yes, man. It is amazing. So we're yeah, it is not going to be a hate session. I don't.
No, it's going to be a love letter, and then say, P.S. Stop effing up. Stop doing it. Just stop.
Apes back in time. Skynet about to F them apes up. Apes for Skynet. Oh my god. I feel like Skynet would still win. All right, let me change the background. And let's get into this X-Men stuff, man, because we're gonna probably talk a while about it. Cool. Let's get into it. Let's go. All right, what is up? Welcome to the Spoiler Kings. My name is Tank Kramer with Brandman Brandon, Brian the Grizzly, and we're gonna talk about X-Men 97, the finale, with the final part of the trilogy at the end. Season 1 is done. So we are going to talk about everything. We're going to talk about how the last episode was, everything about the season. We're going to get some theories. We're going to save a problem that we have with it towards the end, because that's going to be a whole discussion. Just that by itself. But
before we hop into it, Brian, you know what to do. Cue the music for me, please.
You need like the plane to fly by. Yeah, you got the last little end.
Can you tell that I'm ready for this discussion? Can you tell that I'm ready
Exactly.
for this discussion? Can you tell that I'm ready for
I-
this discussion?
I brought these down.
Oh, you get the matching cups. I didn't even know they match. That's awesome.
Do you like that?
Imagine cups.
All right, I got
awesome.
some X-Men stuff up here too. It doesn't play.
I love it. I love it.
And this is what I want to focus on.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
So just right off the bat, man. I gotta give a shout out to Danny Road to Wisdom. What is
Danny,
Road to
what's up?
Wisdom.
Hey,
Thanks for
you should
joining
get
us,
your
man.
package Saturday, by the way, Danny.
Nah,
I said yours and Brandon's at the same time.
Nice.
Cool. Thanks in
Yeah.
advance. I've been hanging like all my artwork. The last ones that I'll need to hang are that one, or the ones I get on Saturday and the Spider Punk one. I just got to get the right frame for it, which I actually ordered earlier today.
Yeah. So real quick, but yeah, Danny, we talked about it on Monday, man. So like, Interview with the Vampire is super big on our channel. So Mondays, we're talking about it Mondays.
Mondays are designated for that until further notice.
Yep.
No, I cannot wait to talk about it again. I can't wait. There's so much more. I watched it again. I was like, man, we got to talk about it more.
I had to cut it up, and that was just me and Brian. I had to cut it up because I was like, all right, I got to get it under 30 minutes. So
yeah,
it's doing pretty good on our channel. But yeah, every Monday we are talking Interview with Vampire, man, for sure. And also gave us a super chat asking the question. There you go. Thank you for the super chat, man. But yeah, we need an Interview with the Vampire kind of like shout out.
I want
to
have
do a clip for that.
Can't wait till we have like a panel to talk about Interview with the Vampire. I could do multiple days of Interview with the Vampire. Honestly, I could.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
So,
we miss a sleepy boy. Yeah.
Oh yeah, exactly. He's talking about you, B.
Well, in my defense, I was deathly ill and bedridden that day. So.
Yeah. Well, we'll get you on, Danny, and talk some Interview with the Vampire for sure. Because I know you're a big fan. I know a few other people that we kind of do some shows with. Yeah. I saw it, but
he literally responded to you right before we went live.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit.
It's so funny. I was like,
you see. He messaged. I'm like, shit, man. Sorry, man. No, we'll for sure get you on and talk game with you, man. Nice. I need to get that. I need to get season 1. But yeah, man, we'll for sure get you on and talk interview, man. I'm sorry I missed the chat. Yeah. But right now we're gonna talk about X-Men. Travis has put first was Kyle. Kyle said, I swear Brian looks like he whispers the X-Men theme song before he kills his victims.
That's what I would do. Like if I was a killer, go just break their necks.
Brian puts his face up to the washing machine in the window and hums the X-Men theme song as the blood washes. Oh man.
It's so visual because I can see myself doing it. Oh my goodness, it's terrible.
Horrible. Also, real quick, let me play something for Danny. What we got?
Shit, got your ass.
Appreciate the super chats, Danny.
Oh.
Brian slowly walks behind elderly people with walkers and hums the X-Men theme until they try to go faster and fall over. He's like stands over him. He goes, "Magneto lives."
And my shirt first says Magneto was right, and then I scream it.
That's funny. Oh man, yeah. I got a lot of questions about that first episode. Anyway, did y'all see the AI video of the X-Men possible character? Yeah, I saw that. Well, what's the yeah? I saw that Simpsons one that
There's a few of them, but yeah, I actually like those ones. I actually like kind of kind of sift through those on my lunch breaks. They're,
Yeah.
those AI like 1950s style like Panavision, they're kind of fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of them are scary, man. Whenever they do a clown, it's always like scary ass clown. I'm like, why? Why? Every time.
Oh,
Clowns are scary,
watch,
bro.
I guess.
watch the one they made for Get Out. It's actually kind of
Oh, I didn't see that one. I gotta check that one out.
Uh-huh.
All right. Let's talk about X-Men. Get back on
Okay.
track. Brandman, what you think about the episode, man? How'd you like it?
Dude, like I can't stress it enough. How much I was blown away, not only by this episode, but the show as a whole. But focusing on the episode, just way to stick the landing, just to cap off this season. Like just where they went with the. See you
Later,
there.
Danny.
Thanks for joining. Just kind of seeing where they went with Bastion. A lot of his dialogue was really something that stood out on the series for me. At the core, kind of, like the, kind of like the frenemy relationship or the compromise, the clashing views between Charles and Eric, which has always been like the centerpiece of X-Men. I thought that was very, very well handled. The way that it just ended, it left me wanting more. I think that much as I've always loved X-Men, this is like probably the main time that this is probably like the biggest time I've been invested in X-Men media other than the comics, even more so than the original run of the animated series. I think this has been an elevation in every way, which is really impressive because they really could have just banked on nostalgia, to sell the show. And I think we can all agree that when we heard that this show was getting announced, like our initial thought is, holy crap, they're bringing our childhood back. Maybe we weren't entirely focused on quality when we first heard this was announced. We were just happy to have our childhood back. But the way that the show's really matured along with its core audience is the most impressive thing. It doesn't talk down to you. It doesn't bank on nostalgia. They're making like great content and great storytelling, and it's impressive just how much ground they've covered on 10 30-minute episodes. I almost feel like they covered more ground in 10 30-minute episodes than Fox managed to in like nearly 2 decades worth of movies, which is insane. And they nailed the ensemble aspect. I even I love how everyone had like their time in the sun. They even what was the word that I was looking for? Shit. They really nailed the ensemble aspect that I find synonymous with X-Men. Oh, now I remember. Even the updated animation, and I think I said this a while back. It felt like less of a update just for the sake of updating, but it felt like it was a narrative decision too. It really worked to the advantage of the storytelling.
Yeah,
just how
especially
much
this episode.
Especially this episode.
The animation was so good.
Yeah, I feel like it's really like stood out more and more as they progressed with each episode, and it's kind of hit its crescendo on this week's. And don't even get me started on the character cameos. Just how they've established the like
Peter
the
found
world
MJ.
with it. Peter found MJ. So that answers my question from that.
Madam Web helped him find her. All right.
Don't say that name.
So at the same time, I do kind of want Spider-Man 98, but at the same time, I'm fine with not necessarily having Spider-Man 98 because that answers my main question about that. We had Spider-Man, we had Captain America, Iron Man decked out in his freaking 90s armor from his animated series back in the day. Cloak and Dagger showed up.
Cloak and Dagger, that was crazy.
Yeah,
that was
Daredevil. Yeah, I think I saw Alpha Flight in there. You
Yeah.
know,
You did.
insanity. Like this, I really don't know what I'm gonna do with myself now. Between now and the wait for season 2, whatever the hell that is, except for binge watch it on an endless cycle until that day comes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, holy crap! Like, if they'd be idiots not to reinstate Bo DeMeo, and if
Yeah.
they don't reinstate him, have him behind the writing for the live action reboot. Do something. Reinstate.
They're almost
do,
done with season
do,
2. They're
Yeah.
mhm.
From
the
what
voice
I read
actresses
too.
are saying they're done in season 2
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah. Well, season 2 is already written.
Yeah,
So Bo
hopefully.
DeMeo is still, gonna have his fingers in that one in a sense, So
Mhm.
You can't say that.
well, that's why he got fired.
Like you can't say that.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is what I've said in so many words is this show's amazing. I
Doctor
want more and
Strange
I want it
popped up.
now. Doctor Strange doing surgery.
He was doing surgery using magic because
Yeah.
he didn't have electricity and he can't use his hands.
Yeah. I think Silver Samurai popped up again. That's the second time we
Silver
saw
Samurai was there. Omega Red was there.
Omega
Red again.
Red.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised we didn't see like Colossus and some of the other ones.
But there's a reason why you didn't see Colossus, and that's because of what you're gonna see towards the end of the new X-Men that you're gonna have in that in the next universe. So.
Yeah, I think so. Horror Geek. We know we're gonna talk about that, but that's gonna be a whole another conversation because but yep. We're right there with you, man. And Kenny real quick said the thing I loved about X-Men 97 finale was it didn't zoom through the issue at hand in favor of an episode long setup for the future, which so many shows do in their determinant.
You're right.
Detriment.
It focused on the now. It didn't occupy itself with planting Easter eggs or seeds for a season 2, although it did end on a cliffhanger. But at the same time, it's still very much standalone. They focused on the current.
Yeah,
which I appreciated.
Which I did too, because like it's the current story, what's going on, and how that leads into the future, rather than like you're saying, zoom through it and it's like, oh, but here's season 2. Get ready for season 2. It's like, no, they finished this story, they finished this issue, the bad guy of the season, and how it's going to continue or carry over to next season. And that's how you do this. That's how you're supposed to do it. Finish the story, finish the bad guy of the season, or however you want to do it, and then how that affects season 2 going forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they do it. The best part is things that happen in like the 3rd episode, 4th episode with like Bishop is now coming back into play. You know what I mean? Like things that they did in the beginning of it is coming into play, So they do it. They're just doing it so well, so well. And it's just, I feel like these guys that are writing it love this show like more than the people who wrote it in the 90s did. Because I feel like the people who wrote in the 90s wrote it, and they, don't get me wrong, they did a great job, but I feel it was more like money and selling toys, which it was. We need to sell comics, we need to sell toys. That's what cartoons in the 80s and 90s did. But yeah, this one loves it though.
Yeah, and as kids, and we were all about the toys and the Halloween costumes and the comics. That was, I think for all three of us, I think that was all of our gateways into the comics. And that's what we were all about as kids. But I think somewhere along the way, we kind of like started appreciating narrative, that sort of thing. And that's not to say that the original series didn't have great writing and a good narrative. We just weren't old enough to really pay it much mind or as much mind.
Yeah.
I think when I started hitting like my late teens, revisiting the X-Men animated series, I came to appreciate that even more. So when I say that the show really grew up alongside us, that's what I'm getting at, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
it's easy for us. It's easier for us to to appreciate the writing, and they really didn't they really didn't spaz out on the writing. Like I said, I was so like my favorite thing about this show is that it didn't solely bank on nostalgia. Actually, the nostalgia factor kind of came last for me. There were times where I was forgetting this was still taking place in the 90s when the show was really at the height of its popularity. You know, I was invested.
Yeah. So he's saying like I'm tripping because the originals they were forced to compromise and sell toys. Relax. And I'm not saying that they didn't love it. They obviously did because they knew what they were talking about. They knew the storylines and they did it well. I'm just saying like they weren't given the money and they were forced to sell toys because that's what all cartoons were. Not as much as like someone like He-Man. He-Man was literally the toy came first and the cartoon came second.
Yeah, He-Man, Transformers.
Yeah, all those. So I'm not saying they didn't love it, but this one is like we don't need to worry about selling toys. We can focus on giving it its full appreciation. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm not saying it sucked. Don't get me wrong. I love the originals. Well, most of it. That last season kind of sucked because they changed animation studios. A lot of the writers left. Money
animation
problems.
Style was so bad.
Yeah, that was a whole nother bag of worms. But yeah, no, I love the originals. But yeah, when you're forced to compromise for things, that's when you kind of lose things. So it's not on the writers.
No,
but they appreciate it because we got a great Phoenix Saga. We got some great stories from the original.
Yeah,
and then they're able to turn it up to 10 on this show.
Yeah, and I really rank the X-Men animated series like right up there with the Batman animated series. They were translating like literal storylines from the comic pretty much frame by frame, word for word. Which I really respected. It's really it's really a love letter to our it's the power of a buck.
Oh no, my bad. There's another one. I was like, wait, what? I'll show that one in a minute.
I was almost like, oh,
but
no, no, it was a love letter to us '90s kids, but at the same time, it didn't talk down to us. To sum it all up, that was my that like I can't like rave about it enough.
Yeah. Well, like Kyle said here, it grew up with its fans. It evolved, and it did. It's like, everyone who was probably writing on it watched that, at some point in their childhood and was like, holy shit, and let's double down on it and do some really cool stuff.
Yeah, and the way they handled so much content was just so impressive. It never felt like it dragged. And when you're handling that much content, you can easily risk dragging. It just felt so they handled it in such a graceful way, for lack of a better term. Like I was sitting there glued to the screen. I'm not even thinking about my phone whenever I watch this show. There's been times where I've ignored calls. Except if it's my mother or my mom, my dad, my sister. I'll answer those calls. But yeah, it's like just holy crap. Season 2, like they're gonna have their work cut out for them for the future seasons because this was a great debut. Like they set the bar pretty high for themselves. It's kind of the feeling that I felt when I left out of The Dark Knight. Like how's Christopher Nolan gonna top himself? So I'm curious to see where they go next time or next season.
Oh yeah. All right. What about you, Brian? Or did you guys even notice 42 minutes? Did you notice it was 42 minutes, Brian?
Yeah, immediately.
Did you? Yeah. I mean, I don't even check the time. I literally click on it as fast as I can. And then I'm like, oh, this one seems longer. And then that's when I noticed afterward.
Every
I hit play
Wednesday.
and then hit the pause, and I see how long I have.
Oh, I don't I don't touch the remote. I hit play and then that remote sits down. I ain't skipping the intro. I ain't skipping the credits at the end. I watch all the characters rotating CGI. Like,
No, so I don't skip anything, but what I will check to see, make sure it's long enough so it's something I don't have to complain about.
yeah, because I figured like it was just another 30-ish minute episode, and then it's running. I'm like, it seems a little bit long. I wasn't complaining. I'm like, this seems longer. I don't know if it's just me really into it or if it actually is. And then once the show was over or the episode was over, I'm like, oh yeah, check that out.
On network TV, that would be an hour-long show.
Oh yeah. Add all the commercials. What about you, Brian, man? What do you think about this episode?
So the episode or the whole series? Because we were talking about both. That's why.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I know.
episode,
I kind of drifted off into the whole series. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. So as far as this episode, I thought they did a wonderful job of giving every character its due. When you able to do an ensemble and still give time to each one. You see Jubilee finally take what she had from, when she learned Motendo, like what she learned from that, bring that, pay it forward. What you did with I mean, everyone, like Magneto, the Magneto Charles Xavier story was so epic, showing their origins, going back to the comic book when they're talking about that they've known each other beforehand. They do a great job of leaning on comic books without making a crutch, making that the story itself. Like, I'm not going to go word for word from the comic book, but I'm going to take things that are very important for the character and adapt it to this TV show. They do amazing job with that. I was not mad at Wolverine not doing anything, but that whole thing with Morph was pretty awesome. Him turning to Jean, especially after what we saw before, where he was teasing him as Jean. So, hey, I'm about to have this baby with the most boring person in the world, and you're in love with me. I thought that was so awesome because he's in love with Logan, and he got to say as Jean, "Hey, Logan, I love you. Fight for me." That was awesome. I mean, a wonderful moment.
Yeah. Also, real quick on that same moment when Cyclops goes to Wolverine's ear, he goes, "Don't you dare break her heart." I was like, Cyclops. I was like,
you said the quiet parts out loud, real well, like really,
like, it was just like
always that secret.
Yeah, exactly. It was like that means Cyclops knows. He's like, listen, I know, but you're not the man. I'm the man. But she does like
I'm comfortable enough to do that because I know what's going on.
Yeah, like, she might look at you on the way out, but she comes home with me, kind of thing. It's like that's what I felt. But I thought that was like badass Cyclops. He's like also respect to Logan is like, like don't give up on us with two. So I thought that was like in that same like, area of like the team still showing Wolverine love, even though he's like hurt. So I thought that was super cool. But yeah. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's fine. No, I'm all for it. I thought the fact that Jean, they've been hinting at the Phoenix Force the entire time. Every episode you saw at the beginning and the credits always saw the Phoenix Force. So you knew we were gonna get that at some point in time. But you didn't actually kill Jean Grey in order to use the Phoenix Force. They just used it as a plot device. That's what they use the Phoenix Force, because when you get a character they did a great job of making the X-Men seem like all is lost. There's no way you could win, and then they use the Phoenix Force to get out of that.
Yes,
that's what Kenny's saying.
They had like legitimate stakes.
Yeah, because they die. They're not bringing them right back. Like you're dead. Like I say, it's wonderful what they did. As I've said in throughout this entire series, I have problems with this whole Storm stuff because we all know, if you've seen me talk about it, you know what I'm talking about, and not giving her the screen time because she's the only black character, and even today, of all the characters, everyone really finished their whole, her arc. but
Mhm.
not really her. And we still don't know where she is. We still don't know what's going on. So why? I don't understand why that is always like fish. She always seems to get a little bit more of the back burner. I
Yeah,
don't like it. I don't
and
like it. And you know, it's
and
when once again, the only black character, the only one in the top 10 of X-Men, and she just time after time feel like it's a short end of the stick.
yeah, and I know you and I midway through, Brian, weren't quite on the same wavelength, and I was like, oh, wait it out. But how long in hindsight, how long do we have to wait for
We
that?
have to, but that's you can't
They
wait
they
because
they didn't.
if you allow it to wait, then you're going to be sitting there waiting forever because they'll be like, oh, we'll do it next time. Oh, it'll be okay.
Yeah,
Well, no one's
you
complaining,
know,
so it's okay. You better complain
yeah,
now. You know?
and Storm is a terrific enough character that there's more than enough to explore with her, and it never really felt like like say we've all talked about like how Cyclops got his due, or
Mhm.
Rogue has had a very good story arc. Magneto's had a pretty good character arc in this.
Xavier wasn't
But
even in most of the
Xavier
season
wasn't
and
even
got
in
more.
most of it, and had more.
Yeah.
It seemed like Storm had like cool moments here and there,
Mhm.
but that's just it. She's so much more than cool moments.
Even the storyline they
There's
gave her with Forge sucks. So like it just it was cool to adapt it, but and Storm is not what you want from Storm. You want more
no,
of her.
there's
You know?
there's a lot more to do.
I mean, this entire episode, all you saw from Storm was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
literally, that's what you saw from
It,
her. Like I thought that was kind of sucky, and
it
people
was
aren't talking about it. Like and it's because if you like the show, it feels like you can't criticize it. I love
yeah.
the show. I'm going to criticize it because you need to give these great characters its due and understand what's
Mhm.
going on and how powerful she is and how many storylines. If you really want to say, besides Logan, she's on more covers than anybody else for X-Men. Uncanny
Mhm.
X-Men, the X-Men series, she has more comic books like than anyone. Her storylines are throughout the entire show, the
Yeah.
comics. So you could
Mhm.
choose a lot of stuff to talk about her, but we chose not to, and I did not like that.
Yeah,
Um,
and
Yeah.
I have to say, like, even midway through the season, you were right. I was wrong about that. They
Yeah.
there's way too much potential, and I'd say that was definitely a letdown of this season. Much as I absolutely love this show, there was a lot more that could have been done. You know, she doesn't have to be the what was the tree from Pocahontas' name?
Oh man. I don't think I've seen that one enough. I know what you're talking about though.
Why
I
she
don't
got
like.
That's
why
like
she got to
who,
be why she's got to be that character?
yeah.
Just saying why stuff here and
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what
Or
the
the
horror
fact
geeks
that she's
or
always everything
therapists.
that she was doing was always away from the screen. The spotlight was never when everyone was there. The spotlight can't be on her. It's like they think she's like OP or something like that. I don't know, man.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Is that pulling out
just
the matching cup?
yeah.
Got the matching cup and matching shirt.
I did not like
Please,
what
I'm
we got from
slicker than
Storm.
butter on the floor.
But not butter on my floor. But
so So Horror Geek said the writer said this about Storm. So quote, there is more to Black Power and Pride than action and violence. And he said, I don't like that
what
response.
what?
That's
They gotta fix this, and they can fix it.
Wait,
They
who said
can.
it? Did both the males say that, or did another writer? Because I know obviously he's not the only writer, but yeah,
He was a runner, the show runner.
yeah, he was a showrunner, and everything had to kind of go through him. But it's kind of interesting because I don't feel like that's Storm. Storm. It's the X-Men who's nothing but action and violence, but
Yeah.
also Storm is, very, like
She's
I don't see,
regal.
yeah.
She influences everything. When they
Mo
are
said it, really? He did say
wow.
it?
When
Damn.
they're
Really?
lost in the woods, it's always Storm that kind of brings them back out. This is what the focus we're going to focus on, family. We're going to do this together. And then she's like, then all of a sudden they do everyone else, and then she doesn't get any of the spotlight. Cool, I guess. Yeah, that's one way of doing it.
Yeah.
But I will say this:
all the
What?
growth is internal. So
yeah, but then how's that work on a TV show, Kenny? You know, like, when we only have one black character, like, and who's supposed to be one of the main ones?
and she's Omega level.
Omega level. We see what happens with Cyclops and Jean. That their character arc was off the charts.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
what we got with Cable was amazing. What you saw with them, that was I almost cried when we said, "I'm going to do something my dad didn't do. I'm going to say goodbye." Oh man,
Oh,
right there, it was just sitting there like for a while, like.
And you know, Kenny is right. He is absolutely right. She did have a good amount of character growth, but I think that, you know, when she came back as OP as ever, I think they still didn't do enough.
Sure?
You know, there were several more episodes where she was
missing
absent.
again. She was missing
You know,
again.
it was and you know, I'm all for, you know, giving other characters shine, giving other characters arcs, but I feel like there was more that she could have been a part of. You know, she just showed up and dropped little little nuggets of wisdom, like we've always associated with the character.
Yeah.
When I kind of felt like at that point they could have done more if they wanted to.
Yeah, they should have. I think they should have done more because, like, she was, you know, I like the little nuggets of wisdom and her stuff like that, but also she's an Omega level. Like, you need to, and they showed
Like
it in the
super
first
OP.
episode.
They showed
You
it
know,
on the first episode. She was
why did
walking
you do
on the
that?
sand and it was turning to glass.
Yeah,
which was
why didn't
awesome.
they do it when she got her powers back? She like creates this like freaking tornado kind of thing, and you could see it from space. You know, so it's like, and then she just gets wrapped up with some sentinels. I was like, you just zapped a bunch of them in the first episode, and now you're in theory more powerful than before. And I don't know. I was just like okay, you know. So I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, you know, I've said that. I've been consistent. I've been saying that with Storm. I feel the same way. When I knew Bishop, they had him at the beginning credits, and they never talked about him again. But everyone else, I think they did real good justice to. I just don't think they did justice to the black characters itself. Bishop is still, you know, he's not really there. He's not really an X-Men. That's so, you know, that's why you should have focused on a better storyline with Storm. But it is what it is.
Yeah. They sidelined Bishop. Yeah, I mean, but I wish he kind of stayed, but it played into the bigger story, and I think it played into that. So at least like Bishop being gone, like, had a reason. I think that hopefully we will see next season, you know, because he's time traveling too, you know, like he's that. But Storm is an X-Man. Like, she's one of
she's been a leader more than anyone else. Like,
yeah, you know, so Bishop, you know, in and out, like, that's cool. I did like him in the show. But Storm, come on, you know.
And I just want to end it when I'm complaining about, since I'm complaining about Storm, I might as well finish it with they showed everyone else. Everybody else. We know Logan is still fighting, but we have no idea where Storm is. So everyone else has a place in the future that, you know, where they went, because they actually had a storyline.
We don't know where Logan is.
But Logan, it just says he's missing. He's MIA, but he was healing. He wasn't on the ship when all this stuff happened. He wasn't there.
Yeah, he was. He was on. He was right there next to Magneto and Xavier on the Blackbird. That was in
he was on the Blackbird.
Yeah, they were all. Well, most of them are all in there.
So they went up above it, because remember the Blackbird was still flying, right?
Yeah.
And then Magneto went out of it, and everyone else was flying when they're fighting it, what's it, asteroid M, whatever, trying to keep it from, you know, falling in, and the jet went off, right?
Yeah. And Morph is on account of that. I didn't even think about that.
It says on the chart.
Yeah.
It says on the chart. You know, but I'm not going to compare it to Morph. But I'm saying you can give everyone else somewhere where they are. We know where what's happened with Logan because of what happened in episode 9. We have nothing to do with Storm at all.
Dre, change to whatever it needs him to be.
Oh man, that is
That's
awesome.
great. That's great. That's great. I love that.
Bishop the slave catcher. No, definitely. Yeah. Yeah.
But I will say this, with the whole thing they did with Storm, I think they have opportunity to make it better.
Mhm.
I still think because she's missing, she could be anywhere in time, right? So
Mhm.
they can put her anywhere, and we can do all type of storylines. And then once again, I'm going with what was announced, which that's the timing to be announced today or yesterday that they are going to have a Storm series with Storm joining the Avengers on her own storyline. That's what's happening in August, the comic book. I don't think that's a coincidence. I really feel like they're doing it for a reason, and they're going to try out some things. And if you don't know what Avengers are right now, it is her. It's going to be her, Captain Marvel, T'Challa, Thor, and I'm missing one. And Sam.
Mhm.
So at least you have an opportunity to do something with it, and maybe they're going that way. You know, maybe that's what's going on, and that they have a plan to finally shut us all up. You know, I'm hoping that's what's happening.
Yeah.
You know, shut me up, please. I will love it. You know, give me what I want. Follow what Coach was doing. What we got with Priest was started off. I mean, give me that. Follow that storyline. If you're bold enough. Why else would you put her as an adventure by herself? So, yeah. Neither here nor there. But go ahead, Tate. I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying, like, I know we had talked about it, like, we were all, chatting in the group chat. It'll be interesting, but I think that's wishful thinking, man. I don't know if they're gonna go that route. It just
So you're gonna put Storm right next to T'Challa, and then just like,
but
you see this?
but we got a whole nother T'Challa problem in this show, which we're gonna get into in a little bit. So so there's that. I mean, ultimately, I think Storm is in the modern the current timeline in X-Men 97. So her, Logan, and Morph are still in there with Jubilee, and maybe in a different. I don't know, man, because it's been months, right?
Make sense for
I don't know.
It's been 6 months, and Forge is looking for her, so that doesn't make sense.
They have to be in a different timeline. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe
I mean,
on a plane of
Logan could be Pharaoh. Logan could be Pharaoh, learning how to deal with his bone claws. That makes sense. Jubilee and Sunspot are on the beach somewhere doing what they do.
No, I don't see Jubilee giving up on the team like that. Sunspot maybe, but
she said that, hey, I want to be on the beach. It's only been 6 months. Everyone that she loved is gone. Everyone else is gone. Everyone that she follows is not there. Thus, I can see Jubilee, not she's giving up, but at least taking a break. Sunspot tells her, take a break, and I think that's kind of where we're going to go with that. But I think Storm is I think she's going to have a special, something going on special with her. Now, do I think it's T'Challa? That's wishful thinking. But I do believe she's going to have a special storyline that they're going with her, specifically for her.
Yeah. That'd be interesting, because then it's like she just joined the group, and then you're kicking her back out again. I mean, not kicking her back out, but now she's like back on her own, or back with just one person or something like that. So I don't know, man. I don't know.
That'd be a hell of a person to be with.
Yeah, right. Yeah. She's on the beach with that big ass coat. Oh, black onesie all the way up to the neck. Like, never gets hot. Damn, I never thought about Mystique. Might be the baddest in the bedroom. Jesus, man. You telling Great Mac to pause, man. No, I know, but I was just like,
jeez, man, you're down bad, aren't you?
I could be wrong, but I believe there's a story with Wolverine and Mystique where they were messing around.
Of course, but Wolverine's been around for forever. So
Mystique is like super old too. So, but yeah, I know they had messed around a few times, and think something like that might have came up. I could be wrong, because there's like what 600 freaking books, maybe more. So
More. It's
Yeah.
it's, it's
and
700.
then
Yeah,
you
over
start doing everyone's side stories and shit. Yeah. Hold on, I saw somebody's comment I wanted to get to. Might have missed it. I probably missed it. I think it was. With Sunspot. So Jorge says, I think why Sunspot was not handled well this season, because he said it's supposed to be Afro Latino, but basically it was
Mhm.
nothing like that. It took the fan backlash to get his skin darkened for the show. Yeah, there's stuff like that was kind of going on, and they changed a few things with Sunspot, but
No, you're supposed from
overall, I
Sao
don't.
Paulo. Like Sao Paulo, if you know Brazil, like that
Oh
is
yeah,
like
yeah, he's supposed
the
to be way
dark.
darker.
Those are
Yeah.
African Sao
Yeah.
Paulo people. Like so, like yeah, that was
Yeah.
pretty weird that they did that. I was surprised that they did that. But
Yeah.
I did like that finally with Sunspot saved Rogue Jubilee. He said, "Hey, I'm Sunspot." He kind of understood what he was, who he was.
Yeah.
He accepted. They do that in X-Men. When you finally say, "Use my X-Men name," that's when you accept that I'm a mutant and I'm going to be this thing.
Yeah. So I don't fully hate it. I there's a thing, but they should have probably made them darker, but
Yeah.
it didn't like upset me as much as other things have, but again, upset me while I still am enjoying this amazing freaking show. Some people are calling it a masterpiece. I don't know if I go to that quite level of masterpiece, but it is probably one of the most fun things I've seen in a long time, especially one of the best things I've seen from Marvel in general for a long time.
What I think the best Marvel thing in probably 2 decades, the best animated thing probably ever.
The best Marvel thing in 2 decades over
What
Endgame and
I'm saying,
Infinity
like,
War.
it's like so. Well, it's since 2019, I guess 2018. So it's only
Okay.
been 6 years.
Yeah.
Well, I think this is put together better. I think that's a better ensemble. I mean, because we've earned it through all those times. That's why
Yeah, you
Endgame and
can build it up.
you're saying because it's the build up to stand on its own.
Mhm.
Man, this might be right up there. Yeah.
Yeah. Wolverine gets
With a lot of
with a
people.
lot of people. Oh yeah, man, dude, for even Storm. Yeah.
Yeah,
They
I
even
remember
do
that
it in
storyline.
they do it in the show, where it's like an alternate future or something like that, and him and Storm
Days
are
of Future Past, right?
yeah,
Mhm.
which was one of the homework assignments. So
Mhm.
yeah, X-Men 3, she tried to bring Wolverine looking like Jean. Yeah.
Two.
Keith said, I like Sunspot actually fighting this episode. It was earned. Yeah, he actually kind of did something, Well, also that was part of his development. He was afraid to take in who he actually is, afraid to be called Sunspot, and then he finally, got it.
Accepted it and said,
Accepted
"I'm
it.
Sunspot," and he screamed it out.
Yeah.
Call me Sunspot. Like that's
Yeah.
what he is now. So now he's acceptable. He's accepted it. He no longer worried about his family because they kind of just got rid of him. And
Mhm.
as Xavier eloquently put, the X-Men and I aren't blood related. We don't look like each other,
Mhm.
but we are family. And that's a thing that kept on hammering home. My question to you
Yeah.
guys is Eric Magneto, is he good for good now?
No.
Yeah.
Well, no. I don't.
We're never gonna get Onslaught, by the way.
No,
We're never gonna get Onslaught.
Oh, I think we are.
I think we could.
I
Yeah.
don't think they're gonna get Onslaught.
I think we are. I think we are, because they already said it. I don't think it's going to happen. I thought it was going to happen early on in season 2. I now don't think it will. But
He's never gonna
they
erase
set
his
it up.
mind again. And
It doesn't matter. He was so far in his mind that a version of Magneto lives inside of Xavier's mind, and at the end of the day, that's what Onslaught is.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
not. It lives inside of Xavier's mind, but Xavier was inside Magneto's mind. So I don't think that. And what happened was, if you I went back to read that comic. It was they both basically lost their powers, and Onslaught was a manifestation of them together. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, no,
it was Xavier's physical body.
yeah,
Xavier turned into Onslaught.
because he lost,
Yeah,
because he lost who he was
yeah.
altogether.
Because in his mind, it was Magneto and Xavier fighting so much that they kind of turned into Onslaught, and then you find out that Xavier is Onslaught. You know, which I don't know if that's a spoiler because
But
they might
that,
or might not do it with
but what
showing that.
happened with this? It would have been Eric. It would happen in his body.
No, I can still see it being Xavier's body. You know, like they were in his head so much, but like it was still his power pulling. So as he pulls back into his head, you know,
He's
piece of
pulling
Magneto
Eric
stays,
with him.
a part
Right.
of it stays. You know, maybe Magneto. He's like, I'm gonna make sure this shit don't happen again. You know, next time you want to do something like that, that inner Magneto that I left behind, I can see. I can see.
I don't think Eric could do that. I don't think he.
I mean, but that's how they did it in the comics. That's how they did it in the comics.
So I was just reading it. It was okay. It was the all right. Whatever.
Yeah, he brainwiped him, and then he was amnesia. You know,
Mhm.
and then
So he no longer
but
was
a part of
the only place for that part of Magneto to latch onto was to go with in Charles, because there was nothing else. But that's not what happened here. And then he screams, "I am." You know, Magneto lives, which is an epic thing in itself. Like, hey, I am there. So that's why I just don't see that Onslaught coming. Especially not now. I think, especially with we're going to get the Apocalypse, and then we're going to have some other stuff.
Definitely Apocalypse. Yeah.
Yeah. What comic book is run as Onslaught?
It is so it's Uncanny X-Men. I just had the book.
I know it runs through a few of them. I mean,
It's
Onslaught
only-
ties in with like Fantastic Four. You know, yeah.
I actually think I can go find it.
Yeah, well, you look that up. Yeah, it's like in 1996 you get Onslaught. You know, but they set up Onslaught like early on. Even though 1991 you get Onslaught in
It was it was in the 90s, early 90s. It was like it'll be like, I don't know if it's the 53 or 54, 55, but it's like X-Men, like
it's like in the early 50s.
Yeah, it's like I feel like I want to take off my helmet, my thing, and just go find it. It's like 54, 55. It's like there's like a 6-issue thing with Onslaught. So
yeah. Real quick, let me bring up Half-Life Divided. What is up? Welcome to the channel. It said, what are your guys' thoughts on the X-Men in animation versus live action? Think Marvel can pull off a live action reboot better than the animated series?
Better than the animated series? No.
No. I think if X-Men and X-Men 97 have shown anything, I think X-Men works a lot better when it's when there's more room to be episodic. I think that's you really have enough room to lean into the content when you're doing it over the span of 10 however many episodes than like an hour 40-minute 2-hour movie. And I think that the Fox movies have already somewhat proven that. They, without taking shots at the movie, I've done that more than enough times. But there's just more wiggle room. I'm not even sure if they can really lean into that element, or have enough room to lean into that element whenever they do make the live action reboot. Can they be good movies? Can they feel like X-Men? Sure. Will they have enough time and room to really go all in as the animated content is? I'm not so sure about that.
It's
I
hard.
need convincing.
Yeah, it'll be hard. I mean, with the animated, you can keep the characters exactly how you want them to be. It's hard, How many people have played Magneto? How many characters,
Mhm.
When you animate it, it looks the same.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about the actor, the actress, and all that stuff. I think it's hard doing live action with a lot of this stuff, but I think it'll be done. It'll be done well. Just I don't think you can do the storyline the same way because these are not comic book accurate characters. So
Yeah.
in live action.
Yeah. And then also like the animated series, the X-Men 97 has the nostalgia factor of going back to the 90s, you know. So you're not just picking up from square one, where the live action, I think, is gonna have to start from square one, you know. So but I think it's gonna be good. I think if they take their time and they understand what they want to do with it, I think X-Men live action can be really great. And you can get a lot of spin-offs. Wolverine can get his own story, you know, Gene and Cyclops can get their story, Storm can get a story, you know what I mean? You can have characters, you know, like a Rogan Gambit would be really cool, you know, like you know, you could do like these cool little stories, you know, that may or may not turn into their own franchises, you know. So you have a lot of opportunity with live action, but it needs to start off great, you know. And I mean, you could take some, hopefully they take some hints from the show here, you know.
Yeah,
like, oh, fans really like this, fans really like that, fans want
All the
this.
comic books, but don't go, you know, scene by scene, but you don't have to go, you know, blow by blow from the comic book. You know, just understand what the character is from the comic book, use the storyline, but change it to what you need it to be.
Yeah, like early MCU stuff. Early MCU stuff did that, and it was great.
So why are you doing that? Because it's comic books. We can do that.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah. See. Bring that up. That was X2 tribe.
And she tried
Oh
to
yeah,
ring.
X3 she tried to. Oh man, you guys, I don't think I've seen those enough times. Yeah, I think we're gonna spend all of season 2 time traveling.
A lot of it, but I think you're gonna be fighting Apocalypse on 3 different levels.
That's what I think too. Yeah.
And then none of them are going to work. And that's why I think Storm could be outside of it, because Storm is going to have to be the final blow. Like she's gonna have some type of arc, whatever's going on, that's going to work. And then she brings something into it that they didn't have, and it's going to be the final blow to bring everything together and do what they got to do. It's Apocalypse.
Yeah. You guys still arguing about where it's from. Big Four Entertainment. Here's why I don't think they'll do Onslaught. When they had the arc in the comics, it was a big surprise. You can't have that effect again. Oh yeah, no.
I was more surprised that they didn't do Onslaught in this episode. I was more surprised the way they went about it.
Even like hinted at it or something. But yeah. I mean, I know
the mind wipe was almost done. So like all that, I was like, well, we know we're going towards Onslaught, and then they just said nope.
I think Bo DeMayo said something about Onslaught. Maybe see if I can find it real quick.
I mean, it was interesting with that. What comic book? Yeah, so yeah, I'm pretty sure it's X-Men 53, 54, 55, and then Uncanny like 353 or something like that.
Yeah,
something like that.
I dare open a window in my computer.
How dare you?
Yeah. I did see an omnibus on Amazon for Onslaught. You can legit just like read everything for it. I didn't see the price though before I closed it. I had to see if I can find what he said about Onslaught. Yeah. Oh, so all you guys watching, I fucking hate Fandom Wire. Like, I feel like they write articles and not know what the fuck they're talking about. It's like, why Bo DeMayo's departure is bad for season 2. He already did season 2. What are you talking about? Like, past season 2, yeah, maybe, but we're not there yet.
Okay, here we go. X-Men 97 showrunner Boulder Mill has teased his plan for Onslaught in the revival and confirms Morph does indeed have romantic feelings for his teammate Wolverine.
Is it raining?
Yeah, he doesn't really get too much into Onslaught.
Nothing really.
Yeah, but I know he did bring it up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's more about Morph and having the feelings.
Well, somebody said, so no Onslaught then?
So DeMayo said, I'll also credit the team work for X-Men 97 for faithfully created iconic comic book panels that strongly hinted that Professor X and Magneto's psyche merging to become Onslaught was part of a long-term plan for the show. Whether it'll be carried out into the future seasons, he's no longer head writer, so it remains to be seen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So on Twitter, somebody said, so no Onslaught. And he responded, neither confirming or denying, but it took some time for the cold darkness in Magneto's mind to fully corrupt Xavier. Yeah. And then they started getting to other stuff. Yeah. So, yeah, I think they could still get into it, but I think right now they're going to focus on
Apocalypse is going to be all Apocalypse, but until they can, unless he comes back as the writer, I don't see they going Onslaught. Even though it's a very cool run.
If they don't bring him back as a writer, I don't even know if it's going to be good. I'm sure they're going to have the writers are good, but you need to have somebody that steers the boat. You know what I mean?
I think you get away with another season. Like the show itself will steer season
itself.
3. Yeah. And
but this
but
got
just like the other X-Men, like
right?
Exactly. It's just like the other X-Men. 1, 2, 3, 4 are pretty good. 5 was like, that could be what happened. 1, 2, 3 is good. 4, you're like, halfway through, you're like, I don't know. And then 5 is could be awful if you don't have a great showrunner.
Says, while I do favor the cartoons more, I can't compare live action movies to the X-Men. Days in Class was awesome. Yeah.
I think those were like two of the ones that I liked the most. They kind of
I was able to stomach.
Yeah, they felt like closest to X-Men movies, and like the especially First Class. It like they actually felt like a team, and to an extent, so did Days of Future Past, and like I thought James McAvoy was absolutely brilliant in it.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great actor. King said, I agree, Brandon. I don't think it could be nearly as good as the animated movies, but at the same time, I don't think it has to be. Yeah.
It's going to carry Marvel. That's what X-Men is going to carry Marvel. That's
with the live action reboot, whenever it does come out, really all I ask is just respect the content and really go all in on the team aspect and go all in on the fantastical element. That's what made this show work. That's one of my favorite things about it. I understand why the Fox movies didn't really go into the fantastical aspect, because it was a critical time, especially when the first couple movies came out. Like we had the likes of Batman and Robin and Steel that like basically like murdered the comic film franchise. So you kind of had to take for all the crap that I give the X-Men movies. I do understand that they kind of had to take those kind of baby steps to kind of restore integrity to the genre. But now that we are very comfy in going all in with the more comic booky elements, and we're very much in that comfortable spot, now's the time to really embrace the content when it comes to live action with X-Men.
Yeah, it's the best time to do it.
Yeah.
So real quick, I wanted to show Horror Geek said, show Sunspot's Black Dad next season. He is more important than his mom in his story. And I think they might go that route, because now I don't know Sunspot that much. I Don't know. But I can see like he felt betrayed by his mom, so maybe he starts going towards his dad a little bit more. I don't know the full story, but I think they could do something like that. You know, and you find out like I don't know if his dad's a mutant or not. But you know, but yeah, definitely. If she's the Latino part of it, then you need to have somebody darker be the dad. So we'll see if they
I
go
could
that
have
route.
sworn Sunspot's parents both like Afro Latino, like
Yeah, I mean,
just like Brazil. If you're Brazil, you like when I was there, I looked exactly like everybody else. just,
Yeah.
just another place where black people went.
Yeah. There we go. It's a few more, then we'll get into our other topic about X-Men. I think you do Onslaught because most of the general public are experiencing these stories for the first time. Yeah, I mean, it'll still be a surprise, I think, for a lot of that people, because even like Kenny, I know you said like you never even knew Onslaught except for the video games, So I'm sure there's a lot of people, if you don't see it on TV, then you might not know, So, and this is a lot of people because a lot of people don't read the comics. So, we'll see. I hope we do because he's a cool looking freaking character.
I think
And
that would be cool.
He's messed up. He's
Yeah.
messed up. Like he's evil, but Morphinor is the lure of a buff short king. Yeah, as we were saying earlier. I love that Beau DeMail loves his work so much that he's still willing to talk to fans of the show despite being fired. That is true.
He only loves fans.
Hold on. You need to get. Oh my god. But yeah, in all seriousness, I think he does like really love like talking about this stuff, which shows. And also, if he wants to play politics against Marvel a little bit, that might be the best way to do it. Start inserting yourself into the conversation. And he's never said, "Hey, look what I did," but he's kind of showing you. He goes, "Hey, read this. Here's your homework." So now he's almost like the teacher. He's the guy telling people how to prep for the next episode. So
And
even though he's not saying,
Marvel's going to say, he's just like Professor Xavier, and X-Men is always more interesting when Xavier's not there. So I'm just saying.
I think no, I think they figure it out. They got some time to figure it out, which is not in Beau's favor. But I feel like this conversation of how good the show is going to carry on for a while. It's going to carry on into Deadpool, because
Yeah,
again, we see Wolverine again.
I think they go away from Beau DeMail for the animated series, but I think they bring him back for something Marvel.
If they bring him back, they're going to bring him back for the thing he does. I don't know.
I don't think they bring him back for X-Men. I think they're going to. Feige's going to overrule everybody else, and he's going to say, "I want him in this live action movie."
Yeah, I think you can do both. You can have him. There's only 3 seasons that he hasn't even started on. I mean, they're talking about Ryan Coogler directing 2 movies. They got the dude, the Shang-Chi, talking, him directing, 2 movies. So, I think they can have him do this and I don't not direct a movie. Don't get me wrong, but maybe write for a movie.
See?
But yeah,
he's a showrunner. I mean, DeMail's been a showrunner.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think they're gonna be like, okay, listen, dude, stop the OnlyFans shit, and if you're gonna be on this, you need to be part of the Disney, family friendly, stuff. So
image, yeah.
So, yeah.
He was like, I just saw Poor Things on Disney Plus. What are you talking about, bro?
More for thought. Oh man. Clones, time travel, aliens, bigots, robots, love triangles. Man, it's like a love hexagon at this point, existential crisis, death, habitual line stepping. 97 ran through the full gamut.
Gambit.
You should have put gambit of X-Men stories in one season. But yeah, they did a lot. They did a lot. which I mean, I'd rather have them do a lot for season 1 than play it safe because you can run into viewing, good example. You can run into running out of the opportunity to tell your story. You know what I mean? I'm sure at this point they're like, we got 1 season to tell the best story we could possibly tell. You know, and if we get renewed, then we get renewed and we'll figure that out. But right now, this got to be the best. And
I think that we're gonna see the same thing in season 2.
yeah, we're gonna see like I think
Multiple
so too.
storylines. I mean, because Apocalypse is around for freaking forever, and you can do all type of stories with Apocalypse. So
yeah. Jorge said his dad is black and his mom is a white, brown, Latino, depending on the comic. Okay.
yeah. So actually, I believe his dad is black, Afro businessman, a Brazilian guy, businessman. He's the millionaire, and I thought his mom was like an archaeologist. Like a regular American archaeologist, like is a regular person. So, you know, he's Afro Latino and like whatever he could be Latina. I don't know if she's Latina. I don't know if she's white, but I know that she was not as important as his dad.
The dad. Okay. Yeah, I have no idea about Sunspot. That OnlyFans joke was a classic. You cut that up, turn that into clip it. Somebody clip it, turn that into a short. Yeah, just like X-Men, Spider-Man, Batman, the animated series were all introductions to these characters when I was a kid in the 90s. Yep.
It was even more. I mean, Iron Man had his own. I mean, there's a lot of things.
Yeah.
Miles Morales. That'd be cool, but yeah, that's on the line. All right. Real quick.
I'm ready.
Let's talk about. You know, I'm gonna do this. So we can move on to the next part. So to finish this little part up, leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think about X-Men 97. This episode. Did you like it? Did you hate it? How much did you love it? Like us? Leave a comment, let us know. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, come and join us every Monday and Thursday. We love talking to all you guys in the live chat about all these like nerdy stuff. So come and be part of the channel and join us. But thank you guys. If you're live, stick around because we're gonna talk about some more X-Men stuff.
That's what we need to do. Instead of going, we be like,
have it like fly by, like the Blackbird. All right. So we all like the show, the episode. That's we already talked about that for damn near an hour. But I think we all have one issue, and that is the absence of a certain cameo. So before we get into a quick rundown of what happened, they're doing cameos. We see Black Panther. I think I could probably speak for you guys where you're like, yes, cool, awesome, gets the old school little capey look on him. And then we got somebody talking to the president, and then Steve Rogers comes in like, oh yeah, King T'Chaka says blah blah blah, and I got upset. It was like, really, this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing.
It's understandable.
This is what we're doing.
So first, I thought that T'Chaka was King and T'Challa was the Black Panther. You know, that's my first thought, because you saw the difference in like the way they look. So when you saw T'Chaka, he was in like the gray joint, right? Grayish. And then when we saw T'Challa, we saw him in this blue. It was more blue, or So I thought maybe they have both, and they don't know that who the actual Black Panther is, but he is also a warrior. T'Chaka was known as the Black Panther before, and there's someone else. That's why I was hoping it was going to happen, but for me to say that means they didn't say crap, so we have no clue. And I feel like they're literally trying to erase T'Challa so they don't have the argument anymore. So
yeah, and that's what I said. I know I went on Dre Max show. I think not on, but I was in the comments. I said it. I said it in the comment section for Chillmonger. I was like, Marvel is afraid of T'Challa at this point. To be on screen at the very least.
They're afraid of the backlash too.
And,
positive or negative from everybody.
And I thought the argument of the recast was just in the movies, in the MCU, but now it's carrying over to everything on screen. Now we're getting like they don't even want to put him in a show that he was already in canon wise. T'Challa was already in the canon version of this whole X-Men 97 universe, with the Fantastic Four, and Fantastic Four was with it's all merged together. You know what I mean? Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, Iron Man, and
I mean,
and
T'Challa
so it's
was
like,
introduced through the Fantastic Four, so like
yeah,
clearly he was already in X-Men before. So like
yeah,
it's really weird because he's
yeah,
in their universe. They had him in the universe as a character, and then now they're trying to erase him out of that universe as a character.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. Kenny is like, yeah, it's a little
Yeah,
disheartening, a
it
little
really
bit.
is.
Yeah, but so
They,
Horror Geek brings up the one I want to talk about real quick. Sorry, with Bo DeMayo, Bo implied that Marvel would not let him use or let them use T'Challa. What do you guys think about that? That it was
I
kind of
believe it. I can believe
I
it. I
believe it.
mean,
I don't.
it's stupid. But go ahead, B. I want you to go because
No. I agree. I agree, Brian. I was going to say the same exact thing. It is stupid. I don't think you're. I don't think you're insulting the memory of Chadwick Boseman by avoiding T'Challa. Even he himself, even the man himself, when he was still alive, went on record and saying that he didn't want to be the end all be all of the character, and he recognized that the character was bigger than him. Um, I don't think you're. I don't think it's an insult to his memory. Um, it would be like not doing another interpretation of the Joker post Heath Ledger, and they've done plenty of those already. I don't think you're. I don't think it's an insult to his memory. Like I said, he recognized that the role was bigger than him. Um, and we should treat it as such. This is supposed to be an ongoing legacy.
yeah,
T'Challa can't just stop here. Unfortunately, Marvel is kind of treating it that way, which is really disheartening. Um, I don't I don't understand. It's a disservice to the character.
yeah,
I've never seen a page where as I said, we said it's 92131, right? That's the universe. They had a character line of Black Panther. It says top T'Challa, and then they said he's in X-Men 97, and then they started to change it as it says T'Chaka, and that was it. And they changed it in the show, even though it was already supposed to be the T'Challa. Like it's crazy the stuff they're doing. I don't know why they're doing this. It's infuriating. And after all the stuff I said about Storm, right? Then they're doing the same thing with doing this thing with T'Challa. Come on, man. Why? Why are you doing this? It's animated. It's not the same thing as the live action anyway. So why are you even worried about all this other stuff? Yes, I want you to recast T'Challa, but why does it have to do anything with animated shit? He's never been animated. He was never the person who was in X-Men before was not Chadwick Boseman. So it had nothing to do with anything. So why are you just doing stuff just because? What the fuck? Like I just don't understand.
yeah. Yeah, like Dre Mack is saying, they retcon the character within today, not even before. Yeah,
They realize, oh, this is gonna be a problem. Let's go change this thing. And everyone's like, I have screenshots of you saying this to T'Challa. What the fuck?
yeah, so it, and it's very concerning that they're doing this across all platforms. You know what I mean? Like in the comic books, they already made T'Challa not be a king anymore. You know what I mean? And never finished the storyline that came after that to allow him to become a king. There's like, no, we're done telling that story, and just ended it. Eve Ewing's run. I'm talking about. And it seems like they're burying this character. you know. And I don't mean that in bad taste because of Chadwick's passing, but that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. You know what I mean? And for me, I've always said from day one, before I even knew either you guys, before I even knew there was a recast movement, it was like me and one of the old original co-hosts, Alfredo. We talked about it, and I told him, like, you don't hide the artist's art and claim you doing it to preserve the artist. That's not what you do. That's not how it works. You know what I mean? Like, that's how you forget about people. That's how you forget about the work and the characters and stuff like that. And I feel like that's what they're doing. It's very frustrating that they rather go with T'Chaka. They rather make a video game about the great 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 grandfather. Not even get to the skin complexion of that. That's a whole nother argument. But you're not even using the actual Black Panther, the one who was created as the character. So it's just it's sad that they're willing to go this far to honor Chadwick by almost erasing this character, at least on screen. In the comic books, it's a little different. They're still getting their run on screen.
Ruining the character in the comic books. That's all they're doing.
Yeah.
Not erasing it, just ruining it.
Yeah. And before anybody comes in and says, like, because I think I saw it on Dre Max, somebody put it in there, like, oh, he's in the Marvel Rivals video game that's coming out on PC. From what I understand, like, Marvel didn't have a lot to say with that. It was like a Chinese company that developed it and stuff like that. I mean, it's not even a full-fledged game. It's only a PC. So how many people are actually going to play it? You know what I mean? I don't know if it's good or not. I haven't heard too much about it, but again, it's a video game, and it's an ensemble video game too. It's not even his solo video game. His solo video game he's getting. So, wait a second. Also, T'Chaka is the Uncle Ben of the Black Panther franchise. That's hilarious because that's so true, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny. Because he has to die, right? He always has to die, so T'Challa can become who he needs to become. Yeah. It will also come. Is it going to come to console? Okay, it's only beta right now, but yeah. But from what I understand, I think Marvel hasn't that much with it. I think they just gave them the permission to use the IP, and they just made a game. I could be wrong, but that's from what I understand. He said that goes back to my Booga Wolf comment. The Chaka review is the wolf. Yeah.
Oh my god, that would be awful. Oh my god.
Yeah. Makes me wonder if T'Challa won't be Black Panther in that Iron Man and Black Panther game.
I think they already established that he won't be. No, or am I wrong? Am I getting ahead?
Yeah, unless there's a different game, but the Black Panther game that I know of is not going to be T'Challa. It can be some like grandfather or great grandfather or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bro. You ain't right, but you ain't wrong.
It is the truth.
Like, that ain't right, but you ain't wrong. It's the truth, though. Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, and that's the part that just like really upset me. I was like, you're willing to go to that part. You didn't even have to say anything, man. You could have just said the King of Wakanda. You could have said that. Like, you could have not even said anything. You know what I mean? Because other people on screens were saying shit too, I think. So it was like, you didn't have to. You purposely did that. You know what I mean? And Bo DeMeo says he had no control over that. So what the hell, man?
That's why I'm hoping that they have a plan, that they're going to do right by the character. They're going to make the animated series kind of make sense with the movies, and they are going to recast this. I'm hoping that that's what's going on. But I am really grasping at straws at this point right now. I don't know why we're doing this right now. What is the point? But as I said, I'm still going back to the idea that Storm is going to be an Avenger with T'Challa. It's going to be so. If you've been following the Avengers run, it's going to be Avengers 17 right now. They're on Avengers 14, I think it is right now. She is going to become an Avenger. Storm will become an Avenger. T'Challa will be there. You don't put peanut butter next to jelly and keep them separate. So I'm hoping that that's what we get. Not necessarily in August, but maybe September. You see the relationship develop, and then they use that as a springboard onto fixing some stuff. But this is just me taking what I hope they do, and not necessarily what they foreshadowed. But I still don't think you put peanut butter next to jelly and not use that a little bit.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, we talked about last week Janelle Monáe coming into the MCU, and we have this whole theory on how she could be this character, and it could be how they bring back like age appropriate actual T'Challa, not TJ, not Toussaint, like actual character. I mean, we're getting some hate on that video, like, oh, you guys suck, you're stupid. I was like, all right, well, whatever, but we're not wrong,
Yeah.
And then
you could fix it in Fantastic Four if they wanted to.
Yeah, but the thing is, my thing is, like, we talked about that, right? We talked about that last week. The video came out. I think I put it out on Tuesday or something like that, or we talked about it on Monday, I believe. We talked about that before this episode aired, so it's already a problem. And now this happens, and it just doubles down on how right we were. You know what I mean? Like, come on, like, and it's just frustrating. It's frustrating.
It's beyond frustrating.
Yeah. Said Marvel Rivals leaks are interesting. Iron Fist in the game will be Lin Lee, Venom, Cloak and Dagger as one Venom, Cloak and Dagger as one character. Okay. And Cloak and Dagger is gonna be like one character, which that kind of makes sense, but whatever. And Jeff the baby land Jeff the baby land shark will be what is it? Detained. Data mined. Oh, data mined.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, what Dre says. I still agree.
Yeah. So I was upset because the blatant attempt to distance themselves from T'Challa and the fact it's T'Chaka, not even Wyson, his uncle. I mean, you could have put in Shuri. You could have put Princess Shuri. Like, that's my thing. Is like you did this. The
argument's going to be the timeline. That's what they're going to argue is the timeline.
But even the timeline doesn't even.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, make any sense. You know what I mean? Because like we already got T'Challa in the Fantastic Four show, back in the 90s, and it's connected. They already said it's connected to the X-Men 97 through it's all the same universe. So,
but they can fix it by saying T'Challa is the Black Panther, T'Chaka is still king.
The king. Yeah, they could,
they could fix just by doing that.
Yeah. Because the suit was the color, you can always say shadows or lights or blah blah blah. But I could be wrong. I would have to double check it.
Almost gray black and then blue.
Yeah, but he also had like a sash on or something, like or like some utility belt sash.
And he had the high collar.
Yeah. And in the one where he like breaks out through the window, he didn't have the sash on his chest.
He didn't have the collar either.
Did he? Or I'm not. Did he not have the collar?
Not as high. It wasn't.
Yeah. So, yeah, you could say that he's still the king, and T'Challa is the actual Black Panther.
And you say that he's younger right now. You say that he's still learning.
That I mean,
you say this is before 2017. This is before the first Black Panther came out. Say something like that.
What was that? Civil War?
Yeah, during Civil War. Yeah.
Yeah. Civil War, the MCU Civil War. Yeah. Where
Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier. Yeah. Yeah. So, So it was just crazy. Hold on. Somebody the fuck's at my front door.
At 11:50 at night.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. My bad. Right. I don't know if you want to bring up another comment.
I gotta roll up over there.
No. Oh no, it's my girlfriend watering the flower.
Oh, okay. I was like, if I gotta roll up, man, hey,
I'm like, what is this?
Give me 25 minutes, bro.
At almost midnight. Who the hell's at my front door? Oh man, sorry about that. But yeah, and then Dre said the fact that that Bo had to delete. Oh, he had to delete that tweet. That's why I couldn't find it. Is very telling because he hasn't deleted anything else. That's also very interesting because he don't work for Marvel. Right. As of right now, he don't work for Marvel. So
Feige probably said, "Hey, I will sue you. You sign an NDA."
probably. I mean, most likely. But I was looking for it today, like this morning, and I'm like, oh, I wanted to find the tweet, like the actual tweet, and I couldn't find it on his page. And then the only time I found it was like on Google, and it was like screenshots. So that's interesting. I did not know he deleted, and he's been talking about everything, like possible onslaught, possible this, we're doing that. Check out this, read this. I mean, he's been not leaking things, but he's been saying a lot of stuff.
Giving
to fans.
homework, being an open book to a lot of stuff. I mean,
Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, you don't work for Marvel.
yeah.
Yeah, quote unquote. That's the thing. Everyone always works for Disney. But yeah,
So you want to keep these checks coming to you? Like these royalties?
Uh-huh.
Oh, so you want the next check, huh? Well, you know what you need to do.
Yeah.
That delete button.
Yeah. Well, Kenny says watching the trailer for Black Panther PS5 game. Thankfully, it's T'Challa. Is it though?
Okay.
Is it? Because I thought it wasn't. I thought it wasn't even set in like today's time.
Present day. No, I thought it was like in the early 1900s.
Universe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's pull up the trailer. Let's watch it.
There is no trailer though. That's why I was like, "Are you sure what you watch?" Because I don't think they put out a trailer.
The Black Panther Captain America game, right? Didn't a trailer come out 2 months ago, roughly? Am I thinking of something different?
Oh, there's the 1943 Rise of Hydra.
Yeah, that's the one, right?
That's the one. Oh, I can't pull it up because my internet will kill me. Here's the link.
Check it out together.
Yeah. Because I thought like he's getting a solo game and it's not him.
All right, let's check this out then.
That's the wrong one. Yeah, and that's his light skinned grandpa. That's what he said. Yeah, what's up, Cleves? I can't hear it, Brian.
Hey, Cleves.
Yeah.
What's up, Cleves?
Can't hear it?
No.
Well, I heard it. That's all I'm asking. All right, let's try that one more time.
There you go.
They're combing the streets, searching house to house.
If they arrest you two, they will take you to their headquarters, and you will not return.
I'm more concerned with the 6-foot cat man who's got claws that can cut through vibranium alloy. By my count, that makes 2 super soldiers loose in Paris.
3, counting you.
And that's 2 too many.
I'll be there before the sun rises, before the Germans, before that American. The Eye of Force has been found.
Please, Just stick to the rooftops. Be careful. Stand pasami.
Oh yeah.
When am I
It's better if I tackle this one alone.
You may encounter some obstacles.
That won't be a problem.
Our cat friend is definitely here too. By the look of things, he's not very far ahead.
The American boy is right on your heels.
Who the hell are you?
If you wanted us dead, we'd be dead. So what do you want?
Answers.
That's far enough!
Stay out of my way.
Stand aside!
I do not take orders from anyone. I don't have time for this. Neither do I.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's not T'Challa. That's like you said, that's his
definitely not
granddad.
T'Challa.
Azuria? What do you say? What do you call him? What do you
Zuri.
call him? Zuri? Yeah. Yeah, it's Zuri. Yeah. Avenger expansion. Oh yeah. That sucks. That game sucks. I'm sorry. With
That game was such a letdown.
with dollar store Avengers. They look so bad. Captain America looks so bad. I'm like, why is he in like a baseball catcher outfit? So bad.
Oh yeah, in the Avengers game.
In the Avengers game.
Yeah, wearing like a friggin' riot gear vest.
Yeah, exactly. He does have another game coming out. He does a solo game. That's the one I was looking up. EA is making a single player Black Panther game, and then that's the one. There's not many details, but supposedly, you're driven. Wakanda is a rich superhero sandbox, and our mission is to develop an epic world for players who love Black Panther and want to explore the world of Wakanda as much as we do. But I think the rumor is like it's not going to be T'Challa. It's going to be like somebody else, or is it like you are going to be Black Panther or something like that?
That's what I thought it was said. That you'll be Black Panther. It's never going to say who it is. Can I say one thing about the whole series, and the X-Men thing that I found interesting? So when we saw the Black Panther, when you saw him, he was with the Dora Milaje, right? So the Dora Milaje weren't introduced until the Priest run like 98, right? So if all that adds up, that should not be T'Chaka. Because the Dora Milaje didn't exist with that. It does not make sense.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that.
The Dora Milaje only works with T'Challa. So like, how are we now have them there with T'Chaka? That's not what it was.
Fans love the Dora Milaje. So therefore, they all have to be in everything. Anytime there's Black Panther, there has to be Dora Milaje because fans like them, and they're badass. Don't get me wrong; they're super awesome. You have individuals like Okoye who's super cool, and then as a group, they're badass. Look what they did. The Winter Soldier dude in the show. They're like, and that's my arm. They hit a button and messed him up.
Take it out. I'm taking it back. But
yeah, I'm taking it back.
Once again, Priest introduced that in 98. So like they just wouldn't be around. This is X-Men 97. So it makes no sense at all. I don't know what the hell they're doing with this. They're just doing stuff. And they're literally trying to distance themselves from T'Challa.
Yeah. Yeah. I said the video game is based on a miniseries, so I don't have a problem with it. It's just his grandpappy. Yeah. Also, I know a lot of people were complaining about that because he's like super, super, super light complected. I know that's the big issue people were having with that one. That's the one I have a petition if T'Challa is not the main character. Oh, okay. Man, share the link for that petition, man. Put that up. T'Chaka should be swinging through New York as a tombstone.
No, Uncle Ben.
In my head on this picture.
That's great.
Oh man,
that's great.
You just see like a dust cloud fly through. Oh, dude,
would you
that
be
got me.
surprised if they came back and said that there was both a T'Challa and T'Chaka in the show?
I'll be a little bit cooler with that. You know, I'll be okay with that.
That's
Yeah.
their way out. They just said,
That's
"Oh
their way
yeah,
out.
both were there." What are you talking about?
Yeah.
This was earlier, so T'Challa hasn't become king yet. So yeah, this is our way out.
Yeah. You know, my own thing is like we keep asking them for ways out. Oh, this is how you can fix it. This is how you can do it. And then they just still like, nah,
We good.
you know, we have to honor Chadwick. So you don't get your guy. Sorry, Mr. YouTube. There are 2 video games with Black Panther coming out. The other one's EA game in early development. Yep. And he said, my theory is the cameo in 97 was originally T'Challa in the storyboards, but it was later changed to mandated by it from Marvel.
Yeah,
that's a very good one.
No, I mean that makes sense because once again, everything was T'Challa, and then all of a sudden they started changing it.
Yeah, that would totally make sense because then that it would make sense on why they did it. You know, it's like, oh shit, well, we can't use T'Challa, you know, so we have to change the name. You know, yeah.
So if they send Aurora somewhere where T'Challa is king in the future, now we cooking with grease.
I mean, it would be nice, but was that a trailer for a video game? Yeah, I dozed off and completely missed it. Anyway, yeah, that was a video game for Black Panther and Captain America. Still Steve Rogers, but you don't even get to T'Chaka. You get the grandfather.
So. That's one of my favorite comic books, by the way, too.
But yeah. That's what Dre Max said. It was based off a miniseries, so that's kind of cool.
The Tales of Suspense. I have 2 copies of it.
Nice. So yeah, man. So you know, we get a lot of hate on our comments. Not a lot, a decent amount of hate in our comments of like we're stupid, like we don't deserve all these views because you know recast is a stupid thing. Listen, man, we're gonna keep saying it. We're gonna keep saying it, and we've been saying it for day one. So you know. But if you're like us and you want to go check out these other channels, go check out the other channels. Dre Mac, you talked about it all the time. Like as soon as that happened, he already dropped like 3 or 4 videos, I think, talking about it. Chillmonger, talking about it. Planet Fanatics, talking about it all the time. He had a great conversation with it. And those guys are always talking about it. There's a bunch of other ones that always talk about it on Twitter and stuff like that. So. And I think
Black
a lot
Comic
of people
Lords. I was looking at Facebook. Black Comic Lords had it.
Yep. Yeah. I was trying to think of names. I was drawing blanks. But yeah, they're definitely on there talking about it a lot. So yeah, so, I mean that's just what we think, and I think more people are starting to wake up and like, wait a minute, you're just changing it all across the board. Some people are cool with it. But now, I don't know, because the anti-recasters like, well, you still have your comic books. It was like, well, they're changing that. And now they're changing the cartoon. So where's it
Ridley was there. Ridley.
Oh my God.
I should say that at the end of every episode, like, F Ridley. Out.
Have a good night. Oh, fuck Ridley.
Exactly.
Oh man. That'd be funny. All right. But yeah, man, like I said, yeah, so that's our thoughts on it. Go check out the other channels if you want to support it. I should have worn my recast shirt. I should have wore that. I didn't even think about it. But yeah, we're gonna move on and probably call it a night. But yeah, just thank you to everybody coming in, hanging out with us, Mama Bear, Dre Mac, all our channel members. Thank you guys so much. Mama Bear, Bigger Ford, Omar, Dre Mac, Zach, Brandon Davis, Road to Wisdom, Cleaves. I know Kenny Sparks is on this list. I forgot to add him. So appreciate all you guys being channel members. Appreciate it. Helps us out a lot, and we appreciate it a lot too. But yeah, just leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think about it. I'm sure we're gonna get a lot of name calling from random YouTubers and stuff like that, but whatever. Yeah, if you got an opinion, you have a phone, you have a camera, go on YouTube, man. Back it up. but you're not. You're gonna be a
Hey.
keyboard warrior.
You can come see me.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know, come on, come in the chat. You know, playing fanatics all the time. It's like, hey, you know, don't leave. Come talk. But
Yeah.
they never do. Never do. So, but cool. Let's get out of here. Appreciate all you guys. Thank you guys so much for being in part of the show. Yeah, we'll be back Monday talking Interview with the Vampire, of course, because
Oh God.
one great show ends and another one starts. It's great. Perfect.
Let's
There you
go.
Yeah. So appreciate all you guys. Thank you guys so much. Have a good night. Mom Bear dropping all the emojis. It sucks that it doesn't show up on StreamYard, but I know it's showing up in there. So thank you, Dream Mac, thank you, Big Ford, Mama Bear, Kenny, Brandon Davis, of course. But cool. Let's get out of here. Hey, check that out.
That's
Hey.
awesome.
Kenny at last minute gifting a spoiler. Who got it? Oh, there you go, Mr. YouTube.
Mr. YouTube 92. Yeah.
Mr. YouTube got the gifted membership. So thank you, Kenny, for that. Appreciate that a lot.
You're also
There you
Kenny,
go.
man. That's good.
Thank
That's so
you.
awesome.
man.
Kenny. That is awesome, man. Thank you so much.
You gotta give him
Yeah,
something.
we gotta
Come
give
on.
him something. Yeah, I just thought about that. Well, here, this kind of works because we got two people. You paid for somebody else's membership, so
She got your ass.
that never gets old, man. That I don't think that's ever gonna get old. But
Same.
yeah, here, one more.
Hello, rich people. Troy's joining you. Yes, I'll hold.
All right.
You know what I want as a meme? I want, the end of the Truman Show, the dude's in the bathtub. He's like, so what I'm gonna do now? That's how I felt like the end of when X-Men ended. Like
That's a good one. That's a good
I have
one.
no idea what to do at this point.
Yeah.
What do I do now?
Yeah. I do like that one. I gotta get that one. But cool. Congrats, Mr. YouTube, getting that free membership. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kenny, for doing that. Let's get out of here. We will see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend.
Thanks,
See you
guys.
guys. Thank you.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. We out here.